Hey everybody! Is this, yeah, we gotta flip this shit. Double selfie camera, right?
Hey, there we are.
I put it on backwards.
The opposite. Is it even, I don't even know if we're live.
We're live. Say hi to the camera.
Hey everybody!
I don't know if we're in frame yet. See, this is why I didn't want to go in early, even though we're already a half hour late. I just want to, kill everybody. These fucking bags. You might want to go to PERISCOPE.tv so you can see what the hell we're looking at.
I did, but I don't know how to fucking find us.
It's not reading the iPhone again. God damn it!
Let's just try YouTube and see if that works.
Weird. I'd rather just get my crotch. Happy 100th, everybody! Oh, you motherfucker.
Oh, here we are.
Can't even tell if this fucking thing's charging.
Well, we got 5 people are watching, including me, I guess.
Yeah, well, welcome to the show. I'm sure it's a fucking entertaining,
So far, it's just me sitting at my computer.
gab fest here. I mean, I can't even fucking set the frame because I can't see anything.
Yeah, I mean, the frame is me.
This is it? This is a full screen? Wait.
This is like it. I can't change this at all.
This is the frame, the square?
I guess.
How am I supposed to work with this?
So uncharacteristic for us. We're having some technical difficulties trying to get the podcast set up.
There wasn't a frame there. This is ridiculous. This is fucking... I'm starting to believe in God again, because who the fuck would hate me this much?
It was free.
Fuck. Fucking hot and sweaty as balls.
Yeah, well, we got the window open already, huh?
To turn on a fucking live stream.
Well, we're having fun though. Look, all of our favorite listeners are joining us. Hey guys, how you doing tonight?
Who are they?
I don't know.
Any of the good ones?
I think Fisher Michaels came in. If so, hope you're doing good. We're trying to also do a YouTube stream. I don't know if that's going to work.
It just won't read the iPhone. That's the problem.
I'm glad everyone's doing well. We're having some issues, but we're going to work them out and then talk about this episode. What's the problem right now?
We just can't. We're going to have to not use Periscope as our main one. We're going to have to use your computer to read the Periscope comments. Which sucks, because that's probably going to be the main one. Now let's see if we can get YouTube to work.
Okay.
Go live?
Go live.
To start streaming,
Start your encoder. This is what I was fearing would happen.
To stop... What's an encoder? What is that?
That's the setup encoding software thing up at the top.
Where do you see that?
It's the top one there. Yeah, that's going to take a lot of time. We have watched the episode already, yes. We have a lot to say about it, at least I do.
I don't see...
It says you got to do this guide to encoding, which is going to take an eternity.
It just says learn about it. It doesn't even say where to start.
Watching you guys set up is half the fun. Well, not for us.
It's not fucking fun. Yeah, it's a little fun. Yeah, alright.
Yeah, so you're going to have to download something. This is not going to work.
Alright, well...
Periscope it is, then.
Periscope it is, and...
I haven't tweeted out the link, although I don't know
But we
how you
can't get
guys
fucking
found it.
Periscope to work, so...
Leftfoot's here, ready
because
to watch us set up. He said it's all he came for.
Because well, good, that'll be 90% of the show, so you won't miss much. Mosrag sucked, and then the rest will just be me cursing at the fucking computer.
Yep.
I'm gonna try Facebook Live. How's that sound?
Sounds like it might take some time.
Well, we just have to hit go live.
Yeah.
We Studios or worst? Let's go to the worst episode ever. Don't look at my pee-pee pics.
Oh, boy.
They're public on Facebook.
Pee-pee pics.
What is that? Dick pics is so crude. I mean, if you call them
It's-
pee-pee pics, especially because in
I
all
don't
of
think
them,
that makes it better.
in all of them, I'm peeing. So
Oh, okay. If they're pee-pee pics,
yeah, they're pee-pee
and you're
pics.
actually making a pee-pee, then that makes sense.
Yeah, there's
That's
no
perfect.
go live option here. Well, I don't know what they're talking about. They say pages can go live on desktop now.
I have no idea.
Lies.
Fisher Michael says, "I've seen better penises." Well played, sir. This is a never-ending
the only
nightmare
way I can
which
get-
we will not wake.
The only way I can get it to work is if I stop the video and restart a new one, and I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah. So I say
What's
we
this
just
link?
roll
Did
with
you
what we
tweet the
got.
link
I
out?
tweeted the link out.
Did you put it in Reddit?
Gonna put it in Reddit right now.
I sweated out all of my Popeyes.
Yes, we ate Popeyes earlier, and Jack was sweating profusely at Popeyes, and I was a little concerned.
Eating makes me sweat. What's
was-
the worst episode
I
ever?
was a lot concerned.
Did you retweet it with Weeks Videos?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, so guys, I can't get the fucking thing to work, so we're gonna have to we're gonna have to read your comments on probably like a 50-second delay.
Yeah, we're
And also, these mics don't do anything. We're talking across the room to you. Hopefully, you can hear us.
guys. It's been 100 episodes. We've learned absolutely nothing. This is how it will always be.
It would be working perfectly if fucking it would just read my iPhone.
Yeah.
Is this what we look like?
We look a little bit better than that. You can actually see both of our faces. The tops of our heads are cut off. And Dan Brio says we are loud and clear, so that's good.
What's this? What is all this nonsense on the left?
We have...
Do we need this?
Fucking...
There we go.
There we go. So let's do that. So then I can close it on my computer, right?
I will see. I don't know what the delay is. Here, let me do something that's visual. Blah! All right, let's see how long it takes.
1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi, 6
love your
Mississippi, 7 Mississippi. All right,
Nice.
we're on an 8-second delay. That's pretty significant. So
And is it me or is the camera terrible?
the camera is not as good as it looked earlier. I don't know why that
I
is.
just hate everybody so much. I just want to die, so I'm just peaceful, just happy.
I started watching that movie on Netflix, The Discovery. You know about this one?
No.
It's about
I don't care.
Robert Redford's a scientist who proves that there's an afterlife, so people start killing themselves. It's a little dreary. I watched half of it.
I guess.
I will finish watching it. Jason Segel is his son. He's the star.
Y'all,
I say we just get going.
y'all can hear us all right?
Oh, I moved closer when I should have moved farther away.
Is this just, is it just my jaw that's in
The problem is they can't see me, and I can't compare now because we're on an 8-second delay.
That's a pretty hot TV. The closer I move the camera back, the more it's likely to overheat and blow up in the middle of the video, like a New Year's.
Well, at least it's not a Galaxy 7.
I don't know what this is doing.
You moved it, and now it changed the frame. The problem is, guys, we love you guys. It's tough because now we're on an 8-second delay, and we're trying to fix the frame so you can see us a little bit better, but we have to wait 8 seconds to see.
Fucking
what the new
amateur
frame
hour,
looks like.
fucking 100th episode.
We have 21 people watching, though,
This
which
is
is
why I
good.
didn't want to bring out the booze right away. It's probably piss warm now.
Oh, you did bring it out. All right, well,
Put it out.
we have a whole little
Wait,
celebration.
Is this
planned.
where it is now, or was this 8 seconds ago?
I don't know.
This looks like it was a good frame.
We're like a dying star. The light doesn't reach the camera for 8 seconds.
Move your shit.
I mean, I don't even have anything here anymore. I moved everything here.
Thank you for telling us the frame's good. We appreciate that, but that's also on an 8
It
second
was
delay.
yeah.
So,
I bet the comments are on an additional 8-second delay. So, yeah.
I'm ready for bed.
All right.
Oh, man, the video's terrible. And I completely forgot to check if we're saving this video at the end.
I did bring it up earlier.
I didn't hear you. I just want to die. I just want to
Do we
curl up
have-
into a ball and just die.
Do we have to start over if we want to make
Yeah.
sure it's recording? Well,
We're not gonna do that. We don't want to lose our thousands of listeners.
well,
All right, I'm ready.
All right. Let's just do it, guys.
100th episode. I pictured when we were at our peak,
Yeah.
I pictured like maybe we'd be doing Brooklyn Bowl.
We'd have a live episode. We'd have special guests.
Maybe a nice venue in Williamsburg. Oh,
Yep.
good. Here come the porn bots. Yay!
Is that a thing that we turned off or not? Or
I
it
don't
doesn't
know.
matter.
I don't know.
Even know anymore.
This is
This is the hell that is our lives. That's a Zebrahead song.
Oh,
Remember
really?
Zebrahead from
Yeah. Oh, I thought that
late
was like
90s?
I thought that was a Dan Mulhall
No,
original.
there's nothing that's Dan Mulhall original. It's all Zebrahead songs from the 90s.
Everything, even Freak.
Yes! I was popular in the pop punk scene.
Didn't they have one good song, Zebrahead?
Was it I'm Money? Because that's an enjoyable song, but not necessarily a good song. Get down, cause I'm money. The 90s
There's no
were a
way
weird
for us
time.
to. There's no way for us to modify these comments. Huh? Oh well.
No, all we can do now is hope and pray that this works and isn't a complete fucking failure. Even
Pray
though
to who, Dan? To who?
the spaghetti monster. Right, that's who we pray to, isn't it?
Pray to Freak.
Pray to Freak. They're commenting on me doing Freak, and to me, I did Freak like a minute ago.
Thank you, Dan. I do think it's cool.
See, but Dan Brio doesn't know you're talking to him as opposed to me. So you just said you think Freak is cool.
No.
And he is!
This is how that Hitler thing happened. That 8-second delay with us in Canada.
Well, there's no laws in Canada
It's
either.
like, Jack, who do you think is the worst person?
You wanted to say Freak.
Hitler. And the greatest person? Oh, that doesn't really work, but whatever.
Oh, Lord. Freak was a great man, says Liftfoot. You're
All
right.
Should we
Very
start?
true.
Should we just get right into it?
Yes, I think we should. Guys, we already recorded an intro, but should we do a special intro?
Yeah,
for
we're going to
this?
do a special intro. Okay, guys, so we already watched Moe's Rag.
Yeah, we already watched it.
Most requested episode ever. We didn't say who requested it yet. We're saving that for the
No, we're
video.
doing that on air.
What else do we need
It's our
to
100th
say?
episode. We're going to pop some bubbly in a second.
Hey, State of Podcast. Those are the
Yeah,
guys
they've been tweeting us out.
Very
and,
generous to us.
Yeah,
I wanted to say this on the air, so I guess we'll wait. We'll just get into it.
let's just get into it.
Yes, kissy face to you too. Is that what you're waiting for us to kiss you back?
Ooh.
Why am I leaning into the mic? We didn't get those to work. These didn't work. Nothing works.
This may be Jack's last podcast. I don't know if we're going to survive another
I'm
100.
done after this. My arm's killing me. All right. Ready?
Yeah.
Close, Fisher Michaels. Anybody want to see if they can get closer? Here we go.
All right.
Oh, also, what's in the bottom there? What's the iPhone actually in the way of? What's that say? What's that box that's behind the phone on the TV?
That just says log in to comment.
Okay, all right, good.
I don't think it ever posted to Reddit because it says you can't post t.co link shorteners.
Can you post in the comments of the other?
Yes.
Do you want me to wait? I'll wait.
Nope. We can go. I can do two things at once.
All right.
So we're going to
Ooh.
start the episode.
So this is no.
Sorry, why
One
I'm
more
distracted.
time.
I don't know.
Dan.
I'm just fucking with you.
Abed. Well, are you
I
ready?
hate that guy. Yeah.
How do these porn things? How are they making money right now by making kissy faces at us?
I have no idea.
Are they
I don't understand.
Are they hoping like our commenters will like click on it and be like, "Ooh, she looks hot"? And then,
I mean, she does look hot. I clicked on it already. I got this virus on my computer that I think is probably fine.
throw back to 90s percentile. You guys should listen to it. We know you don't.
Hey, 90s percentile on the Rock 102.7.
So we are live right now on Periscope and nothing else.
And no other platforms.
No Facebook
we
Live.
tried to do a few others, but
No
it took us an
YouTube.
hour to get Periscope working, as
No
it
Twitch.
usually does.
45 minutes late.
Yeah.
And we purposely set it late to begin with.
Yep.
Oh, I just hate
So
everything.
now it's even later than late.
So if you're listening to this on the podcast audio, then you've probably already heard our intro. We're going
Yes.
to repeat ourselves just a little bit, but we're going to add a lot for our lovely, lovely fans that have joined us. And apologies to the fans who couldn't. You know, this was pretty last minute, and I'm
Yeah.
sure most of our international listeners are in bed or blown up by nuclear weapons.
Oh,
by now.
God, I hope not.
I hope not either. I hope that didn't imply us hoping for that.
You know, it sounds like you're saying that Hitler is a great man again, Jack.
No, I'm saying Trump is a terrible president. Anyway, so, Dan,
Jack.
where should we start? We watched Moe's Rags to Riches. I said at the top of the show, we talked about it. You guys are listening live, don't know about this yet.
Yeah.
We said we didn't believe you guys. We thought maybe there was a decent chance this episode was underrated because it couldn't have been that bad.
I believe I said I was cautiously optimistic.
You were cautiously optimistic. I was actually less optimistic. I said it would be middle of the road. You think it might be the worst episode ever.
Without a doubt, it's the worst episode ever.
Really?
Unquestionable. This episode was unwatchable. It is static.
It was
There's
literally like watching nothing. Now, but to me, that's not painfully bad. That's painfully bland.
Well, we'll get into the specifics. I do want to.
It's like manslaughter, not murder.
Man's laughter, my favorite crime. I want to get into.
That's the crime.
I want to get into who suggested this episode before we forget because we got a lot to name.
Okay.
This is our most requested episode ever. It is 14 people suggested this episode. First we have N.A., so thank you, N.A., like not applicable. Elliot Mahan suggested this one.
Thank you,
Steph
N.A.,
O.B.
Thank you, Elliot, Steph.
Darren.
Thank you,
I
Darren.
assume from Bewitched.
Which one?
Both of them. At JRG Comedy, so there's a free plug for that Twitter account.
What was it? What again?
At JRG Comedy.
Thank you, JRG. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. A lot of the commenters seem to be agreeing with you. Zeros across the board. So we'll see.
It's a piece of fucking garbage.
Somebody did say the B plot was the worst part, and I agree with that. We'll get into that.
We will absolutely get into that. Eric R. suggested
Thank you,
this episode.
Eric R.
Julian suggested it.
We hope you are listening. Thank you, Julian.
Jared G. in the house.
Thank you, Jared. That's not the Subway guy. That's Jared F.
That's Jared.
Yeah.
Jared.
You missed
F in the A
one
in
letter.
prison.
You were one letter off from being one of them.
Literally a blank, just no name. So thanks for that.
Thank you, Invisible Man.
Swamp Hag suggested this episode.
Thank you, Swamp Hag.
Ishkabibble suggested this episode.
There's no like John Smiths in there, huh?
It's all Ishkabibble and blanks. Lindsay Marie.
This is like a nice cross section of our fan base right here. You got gibberish and nothing.
And Steven Schumacher. That's a normal name.
It's probably Joel Schumacher's son.
It probably is.
My dad's the best director, and I love worst episode ever of the Simpsons podcast.
He would.
Those are my two favorite things in pop culture.
My two favorite things in the world. All right, Jack. So that's it for suggested this episode. And we should pop our champagne, right? Because it's our 100th episode.
It's our 100th
episode.
episode.
It's a big deal.
Like I said, I wish this was a bigger deal. I wanted to do a live episode.
It would have been amazing to do a live show.
We're doing this the Friday night after work. We're fucking exhausted.
We got
Nothing works.
Episode 150. That'll be a thing. Episode 200. Episode 600 will be a thing.
We're 1/6 of the way.
We're 1/6 of the way there.
I'm glad. Before we drink, I want to talk about this. Let's try to sum up the state of the show. Do like a Conan O'Brien used to do. The state of the show. Good. And we have weird, stupid characters like Conan too.
I don't know what's stupid.
No. So the mission. I don't know. Do you think your mission might have been what is literally finding the worst episode ever? My main goal going into this, when you pitched the idea to me, was I want to find out how does the greatest show on television, maybe ever, go from garbage? From that to garbage.
Crumble.
Like as a comedy theorist, as a writer, I want to know how does this happen?
Yeah.
And my goal was to watch these episodes and come up with like a unified theory of post-classic Simpsons. Like
sure.
Why
Einstein in a lot of ways, Jack.
In a lot of ways, and not just the mustache I just shaved off.
Yeah, and you had that poster of yourself like sticking your tongue out, and all the kids have it in their dorm rooms.
Take a screenshot of this and put it up in your dorms, kids. So,
I licked the mic.
Yep, cancer.
It's cancer now. Oh boy.
So anyway, I fully expected by now to have a really solid theory, and I don't, and it really makes me I feel like I'm just not good at this. Maybe I'm not a good critic. I don't know. We've come up with some good starts. The Doomsday Process.
Yeah.
The fact that they don't do they don't seem to do rewrites. But here's the thing: we can't prove that. We're not in the writers' room.
No.
I get the feeling they don't, and plus, we've said this before. The cast are all millionaires. They're old now. They're in their 60s. Their parents, their grandparents.
Yeah.
Maybe they don't have time for 40 table reads like they used to.
Sure.
So they're probably not doing the 40, 50 drafts, the classic episodes. But we can't prove that. So we can't definitively say that's why it's not funny.
Right.
Why else? I wrote some ideas down. Why else do we think...
I mean,
what have we learned?
A lot of it is just... it's very inconsistent, because we were saying a little bit in the intro that, this episode's from season 23. We've done a lot of episodes from season 23, actually, and they're all over the place as far as rankings. Lisa Goes Gaga's from that season, which is really, really low. But The Book Job, which is fairly high, is also from this season, as is Bart Stops to Smell the Roosevelts. That's somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, I don't think there's a consistently good... This season is good. This season, but like season 12 seems to be okay and stuff like that.
Season 12 seems pretty good.
But it's still got stinkers. There doesn't seem to... Well, that actually brings me to my other point.
All right.
I think... I brought this up on CBC.
Yeah.
The Great Man Theory.
I've
changed the name to the Lightning in a Bottle Theory.
Okay.
I really do think early Simpsons just had, like, if you read the Ortved's oral history of the Simpsons.
Yeah, John Ortved.
Yeah.
My Facebook friend.
Yeah, I would read this book. It's really interesting. It's basically a history of the Simpsons, very detailed. And it really does seem like they just got a dream team of, look, you got Brooks, you got Sam Simon, you got Matt Groening, you got Al Jean, Mike Reese, and I think maybe my favorite, Gus Swartzwelder too.
I was going to say John Swartzwelder.
My favorite, my theory as to who is the Simpsons type of humor.
Yeah. George Meyer?
Yeah. So maybe you just don't have that dream team of people again. Like, yeah, I'm sure you have some good ringers, but maybe they're just not gelling together.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's part of it, and I don't think like Dana Gould was and maybe still is a writer on The Simpsons. He was for many of the post-classic seasons, and I like him in general. I think he's a funny comic.
I saw in the credits for Moe's Rag. I think they're writers and producers on the post-classic late seasons.
Yeah.
Tom Gamble and Ross. Mark Ross?
Yeah, Tom Gamble was on Seinfeld, right?
They're partners, and they wrote a lot of the best Seinfeld, like season 7, season 8 Seinfeld episodes.
Yeah.
These guys are funny, and this is not funny. So
I mean,
it's not the individual talent. It seems to just be they don't have the same team and the same team working together like in unison.
That's true, but I also think part of it is now we're in season 28, and the characters have not aged. Nothing has really changed.
That's the other thing.
It's tough to tell new stories.
Well, not just new stories. Comedy is surprise.
Right.
You laugh when when something not expected happens.
Yeah.
And I don't know if anything can say even like you have SNL, but that's different because
That's
it's a
totally
completely different show
yeah.
from what it was in 1975.
Right.
So maybe it's just if you're doing the same type of humor, it's just not as funny anymore.
Yeah, I mean, we've said a number of times they should change things up, and this episode certainly is a change from the norm. But I think it has a lot of problems that are not related to it being a change from the norm. It's just a very poorly written episode, I think.
Two last maybe theories for this unified theory. One, all right, so a lot of people say, oh, the show's lost its emotional core. I don't agree with that. I think even though our least worst episode ever is what, Behind the Laughter?
No, our least worst episode is now, what's that one? We loved it. God damn it. You can look it up. I have the rankings in front of me. It's Trilogy of Error.
Oh, okay.
Bart's comment is overall probably the
Trilogy of Error, yeah. No, fucking lost my point. Oh, yeah. No, so that's on numbers, on, thank you, it's my iPhone that's across the room.
Yeah, that's a thing. Yeah, the mics are just for recording the podcast.
My favorite post-classic episode, even though the numbers say something different, my gut, my truthiness favorite episode is the whale one, where Lisa has the beach whale. And that one's not funny.
That was a good episode of television, but it was not the funniest episode.
So yeah. I will argue anybody who says the show has lost its emotional core. It's just, like you said, it's inconsistent. Most of them are terrible.
Right.
But when they do it right. I think what's more consistently terrible is the lack of characters and story. The jokes are for joke's sakes. Whereas even the best stupid gags in the classic Simpsons usually came from either story or from character.
Related to that, do you think the show has just kind of dumbed itself down too? Because I feel like there was much more satire and much more intelligent, not higher brow humor, because there's definitely lowbrow humor still, but maybe it was more of a mix of high and low brow, and now they go for a lot of lowest common denominator, easy jokes. Definitely in this episode, there's a bunch of puns.
I want to put a pin on that because right now I wanted to talk about overall what we've learned so far.
Yeah.
That is something I want to talk about specifically to Moe's Rag, because I 100% agree.
Yeah,
I'm just going to call it Moe's Rag. I've been calling it Moe's Rag.
Just call it Moe's Rag. It's fine.
I keep rubbing my shoulder. I don't know.
You do keep rubbing your shoulder.
I'm in so much pain.
And I'm doing like this, I don't know what arm motion. I'm watching myself from 8 seconds in the past. I'm like I was doing a shadow puppet.
I tore something working out last night. 2 days ago, and then yesterday I played a shit ton of archery in VR, and I fucked something up.
You don't want to fuck those shoulders, bro.
I'm in so much pain. Yeah, no.
We do.
I told this. That was one of them.
Yeah,
I told this guy at work. I was like, yeah, right here it hurts. He goes, oh no.
Yeah, he's like,
you're done. You're done.
Yeah,
he's like, you're done. You're just gonna be in pain the rest of your life. Anyway. Hopefully it won't be that long. Hopefully I'll be dead soon.
Well, your life will end at the end of this podcast. So
I'm gonna podcast seppuku. One last minor maybe theory.
Yeah.
Rose-colored glasses, nostalgia. Maybe The Simpsons just never. Maybe we grew up with it, and
it was never that good.
I mean, it was always good, but maybe we're just holding it. Maybe the critics of us are right, and by us I mean any post-classic naysayers.
Sure.
Maybe we're just.
Maybe some people are just
holding it. We're holding it in too high of a regard.
I mean, I don't really agree with that one because seasons 3 through 8 are.
I would say there's like 1% of that. There's got to be something. I mean,
I don't know. I mean, it is tough. It is tough for us to be objective. I think you're saying
it'll
because
be interesting.
This is a show that's baked into who I am.
Right. Exactly. I hate myself, so that's not a problem for me.
Right. Well, you also have like this pit of horrors that's also baked into you. It's right there in your shoulder.
We'll eventually cover some classic episodes, and we'll see. We'll try to look at them in the same objective light, like the same fucking scrutiny we do this, and we'll see.
We may start doing some more classic episodes
sooner than you think.
In the next hundo.
Oh, I was going to bring this up before we started recording. So, right before we started recording, I went to go pee. And I heard...
I'm glad you brought it up.
And I'm guessing this is going to be the deleted scenes. I don't know what you were doing, but I could tell you were talking. I could tell you were talking into the mic. I'm guessing it was Little Ghost Girl.
I was whispering because I didn't want you to hear it. I wanted you to hear it when you were editing the show.
So I'm sure whatever it is going to be really funny. And when you're doing it, you're talking to this. You're talking to the microphone. So you're talking to somebody, something. Right. And the listeners are going to be listening to you, so it's all going to sound normal.
Right.
But I just hear from the bathroom. So I'm in the bathroom, on the other end of the apartment, and I just hear... and that's all I hear.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I know what he's doing.
That's exactly why I was whispering, because I didn't really want to be like, Dan's talking to himself again.
But it really does sound like you're just in the other room talking to yourself in the baby voice.
It's not a baby voice. I was at least 12 years old.
Alright, anyway, that story was just to weed out the non-fans.
Yeah.
I just wanted to get rid of those.
We got a lot of hearts with it, though.
There's got to be a pun for that, for interlopers of Paris. Like a periscopers?
Paralopers?
Paralopers.
Paralopers.
Yeah. I wanted to feed out
Get
those
out of here, paralopers. I see a lot of the people I would hope would be here are here, so it's good to see you.
Yeah,
all of you. You guys are great fans.
That was that was the other thing I wanted to say on air before we
dig into this wonderful episode.
100 episodes. We gotta thank you guys. We wouldn't be doing this without you. Because it sucks and it's a lot of work.
we would have given up a long time ago.
We would have stopped at maybe 50 probably. And there's not that many of you. There's a decent amount, but there's we would love more.
We got a lot of downloads, but
it's not like one of those stinker podcast numbers like 90th percentile.
A lot more people listen to this show than 90th percentile,
which means some of you might not be listening.
We got some good guests coming up.
Definitely the people listening to this right now, there are at least 3/4 of you who are not listening to 90th percentile.
Yes.
Listen to 90th percentile. It's a good show.
It is. It's a great show. I like it more than this show, to be quite honest with you.
Former 90s percentile guest Laura Jane Gray. She was just on Fresh Air with Terry Gross.
That's right.
Bit of a step down.
Bit of a bump.
But listen to our show.
We gave her the old 90p bump.
But yeah, thank you so much. A heartfelt thank you, not just to the ones listening, but I'm sure there's people who would like to be watching us right now but can't. You know who you are. You follow us on Reddit. You follow us on Twitter. Some of you are like me. See,
I was just gonna say that there's so many podcasts that I listen to and love, and I don't interact with them at all.
One of my favorite podcasts, You Talking You Two to Me, or even Fresh Air with Terry Gross. Sure. I've been listening to Fresh Air for Terry Gross for 10 years, as of 2 months ago. So over 10 years I've been listening to that podcast. I never once went to their Twitter, or I never added Terry Gross.
Right. I mean, I met Scott Aukerman once and forced him to take a picture with me while I was wearing my You Talking You Two to Me shirt.
Right.
which in retrospect was embarrassing.
So I'm guessing like there's a majority of podcast listeners probably like us. They love the show and they're there. They listen to it all the time. They might even look forward to listening. They're just not the type of people who do the social stuff.
If you are listening, send us an email. Like we would love to know that you're out there.
Right, and if you're not, we appreciate you just as much.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
With all that said,
yes,
with the
it's time to celebrate.
It's time to celebrate because we have hit 100 episodes. We had to go to a bi-weekly schedule at one point, but
it sucks.
It sucks, but that's life. We have full-time jobs.
We were gonna get beer because
we're
doing a nice Friday night. Use a few beers.
Yeah.
But then this is a celebration. 100 episodes.
This is a fancy occasion. You guys are watching. You can see that we are dressed to the nines. Sorry, podcast listeners. You'll have to just visualize our fancy tuxedos.
So. We got some champagne. We got some bubbly. I really would like to see the fucking camera.
It's a shame that we are 8 seconds
I'm
behind.
assuming this is in the frame somewhere. Oh, I shouldn't shake it.
Well, all right. We're gonna have champagne showers.
We have a nice bottle of champagne that me and Dan are going to drink the entire thing throughout the episode.
Yes.
To kill the pain of of what was most
rag.
Plus the VR
and your physical pain.
I've got these nice bubbly glasses. Thank you to Alden
and Jennifer. Who are Alden and Jennifer, Jack?
They're good friends of mine, and
okay. We have their champagne.
I stole a bunch of their glasses from the wedding.
I believe you're probably supposed to have these, right? These look like wedding favors.
I like to say anything I take, I just say I stole it.
I stole it.
I steal oxygen to breathe.
I went to the ATM and I put in my PIN code and I stole some money.
Actually,
from my own account.
Alden's a big Simpsons fan. We actually tried to get him on the show. He just works his ass off.
Oh, he's too much of a big shot, huh?
But they're expecting a baby any day now, any hour now, probably.
Okay.
So congrats to them, to my good friends Jennifer and Alden, and that makes me want to do one last thing before we talk about.
Sure.
Because this is We 100. We got a lot of stuff to get out of. Actually, we have another thing we have to mention too.
But I don't know what that one is, but okay.
We should, but
all right.
Congratulations to very close friend of the show, Bryce Canado-Pullen. He just had a baby last week.
Yes, he did.
Graham Canado-Pullen. So congrats to Bryce and Christine.
Yep.
And that made me think. Basically, we have a lot of guests who've been having babies in the last year. Chris Kieran from 90s Percentile. He just had a kid. Congrats, Chris, to you and your wife. Billy had a baby girl. Congrats to you, Billy. Billy Kammerer from Worst Episode Ever and from 90s. I gotta stop waving this last one. Dave Dorman, co-inventor of the Hippo system. Didn't he have another kid since...
Did he have another kid? I don't know if he has. I haven't talked to him in a few months, but I should reach out to him. If you're listening, Dave, I will reach out to you.
So,
and Kara McElwain also.
Recent guest,
just told me last night that she is expecting.
Hopefully it wasn't a secret.
It wasn't. I mean, she's telling people, so clearly it's not.
People confide in you. You're a trivia host.
That's true. I'm kind of like a priest in that way.
Congrats to Dan Brio.
And Dan Brio's got a baby on the way also. I just remember Leno in his last episode before he came back and said he had all his staff come out with all their babies.
Yeah, all the production babies. I just wanted to give a shout out to all the Wii Studios babies. Yeah, clearly listening to our voice and interacting with us, are getting it on and making babies. We are doing a service to the world.
I believe that one of our listeners listens with his girlfriend.
Can we just I
assume that they have had a baby since.
I also assume that most of our listeners, like the ones that don't do social, I really want to assume that there is a silent majority of people who hate free. And even though the core people of followers that Bigby,
name him Freet.
You gotta name him Freet Johnson.
It's Goldberg. You son of
who's Freet Johnson?
Freet Johnson was a different character.
I don't remember what his name was.
I don't remember. But Freet Goldberg is me.
You gotta have a baby.
I'm still looking for love and cryptograms.
So Dan Brio or whoever wants to be crowned the biggest Wii Studios Worst Episode Ever fan.
Yeah.
The requirement is you name your kid Freet. Freet Goldberg.
Freet's a great name. So it rolls off the tongue. It's unique. It's better than soda.
Also, you have to assume that if you name him that, God is going to grant him with the voice of Freet.
That's right.
like a year from now, Mama. That was my baby.
That was good. Baby Freet. That's our new hot character in the second 100 of 90th percentile. No, worst episode ever.
I don't know what's going on.
I don't know anymore.
The other thing before we get to the fucking episode.
Yes.
We have a big announcement.
What's our big announcement? Oh, yeah. Well, we haven't set it up yet, but we're going to.
We were supposed to, and we were running early.
By the time this episode is out, we are going to have a Patreon at long last. A lot of people have asked us, are you guys going to do a Patreon? When's that happening? we're finally going to do it.
We say we are.
We say we are. If it's set up, it will be in the show notes of this episode.
What's
so
Patreon?
Check that out. If you don't know what Patreon is, essentially you guys can kick in a couple of bucks to be a Patreon supporter, probably as little as $1 a month. We will give you a nice thanks on the air, and there will be some other tiers of rewards that you'll get. I can almost guarantee that some free sync points will be coming your way.
Yeah, I think for the majority, yes. And I guess we'll just announce this now. We have a sync points that's going to be released. What's today? April 7th?
Today's the 7th, yeah.
In about 15 days, in about 2 weeks, we're going to be releasing a special Earth Day sync points. Should we just say what it is? Give them time to watch it, or what?
Sure.
All right. There's an Earth Day special from 1990. It's on YouTube. It was aired on, I think, all networks. It stars all the biggest TV and movie stars.
It's fantastically strange.
Of the early 1990s. It's so fucking weird. So we'll talk about it more in the coming weeks. But in 2 weeks, we're going to have a sync points for that. It may or may not be free, depending on how we set up Patreon. Patreon should be ready
we'll figure it out.
by the time this audio episode airs.
Yeah,
on Thursday. On what is it, 13th?
This episode, yes,
Yeah.
I think so.
So
and I think we're going to have like a stretch goal on the Patreon. If we have a crazy listener who wants to give us $10 million, we will quit both of our jobs.
We will both quit our jobs, and we will podcast full-time, 5 shows a week.
Full-time. And no, Amazon.wepodcast.com is not going away. You should go there for all your shopping needs.
Yeah, if you donate $10 million, not only will we quit our jobs and do full-time podcasting and do a bunch of shows, Stephen King podcast, anything we want to do, we will also do a monthly show about you, the donor.
Yes, so, absolutely.
Yeah, it's mostly going to be us doing our same shtick, but just talking about whatever we want. But you will come up at some point.
Absolutely.
Every episode.
Yeah, and you can't be on the show, but you can be in the room while we're recording.
Please don't ask to be on the show.
No, definitely not.
It sickens us.
All right,
but look, I was actually fighting Dan on the Patreon. I felt weird asking you guys.
That's actually one of the goals. We will fight each other if we make a certain amount of money.
At first I thought it was money's tight these days. I get it, but if you can, any little thing you can support to help us cover our bills and to just make this a little bit less intolerable to fucking record.
Yeah.
So we really appreciate it. If you can't do it, we totally understand. I don't Patreon anybody, so whatever.
I do Patreon a few things.
I might start actually. I might start.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna start.
All right,
let's open it. I don't know how to open a champagne.
I will open the champagne. Yeah.
Tell me when it's ready. Tell me when it's ready to open, and I'll set you up for it.
Okay.
And then we're just gonna awkwardly wait. Yeah, do it away from the camera so they can't see anything.
Well, I don't want to do it towards the camera in case the cork goes. I was moving this.
Do it over here
so they can see what I'm doing. Son of a bitch. All right, here we go.
No, they're friends of mine from that have nothing to do with We Studios.
No,
so they're my nicest glasses. You got to shoehorn in, you son of a bitch. All right, let's put it back in. Put it back in. Okay. All right, hey Dan. I hope you don't do freak this episode. I hope it's not shoehorned in. Pop. It was Seinfeld. Piece of the beat.
That was. I can't help it if we bought the Seinfeld champagne.
All right, give me some fucking alcohol.
All right, we need it.
We should have got the beer.
It's been a long.
That was foam.
Kiss my ass.
Was that a zebra head song?
I don't
Where'd the phone go?
Did we
disappeared like that?
Did we record the zebra head conversation?
I
do not remember. I do not.
Were you here for the zebra head conversation, guys?
I think now we're like at 16 seconds.
Like a Mississippi, a Colombian.
I was going to top you off a little bit there.
Yeah, please do.
But Jack, while I'm topping you off with some champagne,
should we do a quick plot recap?
Why don't you hit us up with that little recap?
100th time, although I don't think we did plot recaps in the very beginning, so I don't know.
Nope, but we're doing it now.
It is Corbel. So you can't say the champagne's not Corbel, because it is. If that means anything to anybody.
It doesn't.
All
right, let's do this.
I'm done. I'm fucking exhausted. Good night, everybody.
All right.
Cheers.
Clink. To Alden and Jennifer.
To Alden and Jennifer. And to all the Wii Studios babies.
And to all the Wii babies.
All right, so this episode, season 23, I call it Mo's Rag.
Mo goes.
This episode starts with a party at
There's
Mo's.
no riches. It's not that after the title. There's literally no riches.
The riches is Mo finds love in family. Family is the riches. Oops, I'm going to fucking knock this over.
Family is the riches.
Like the FX show, The Riches. That's right. Got the family name, The Riches.
Hugh, people want to believe the lie.
It was a good show.
I only watched the first episode.
It got killed by the writer's strike.
Yeah.
What's his face was amazing on it. Jared Harris.
love Jack Harris. Got a new show on AMC coming out this year.
Oh, so
That's
it starts with a party at Moe's.
Yes, the episode. I forgot what we were doing.
Something with Quimby. I don't know. But anyway, there's a big party.
They were having a town hall meeting.
I'm going to do
Moe's.
a really quick. I'm going to do this quick.
It doesn't have to be long.
Because this
episode has no
this
plot.
was 22 minutes of static.
Yeah.
So basically, somebody comments that. Oh, everybody comments that they have best friends. Homer has Bart has Milhouse. Carl has Lenny. I forget what it was, but Moe's. He's like, "Who's your best friend, Moe?" And he says his best friend is his bar rag, the thing he uses to wipe up all the shit on. And everybody makes fun of him, and they spill shit on the rag, and they torture the rag for some reason. And they all leave the party, and Moe's really sad. And he goes to bed, and the rag starts talking. It looks exactly like the Sorting Hat from
it does.
from Harry Potter.
Yeah.
It's voiced by completely wasted Jeremy Irons.
Yeah. I don't know if he's completely wasted, because Jeremy Irons could read the phone book and it would sound interesting.
He pretty much did.
Has a great voice, but yeah, I mean, the role sucks.
What?
Actually, the role isn't even terrible. The concept of this episode is not that bad. It's weird.
I guess I'll finish.
Yeah, finish the recap.
We'll talk about its sources. So the rag starts telling a story about its origins. It started in the Dark Ages, in feudal society. The serfs are played by all these historical characters are played by the Simpsons characters, Springfield regulars.
Right.
And Marge in like the 1300s basically makes this tapestry.
Yeah, we'll talk all about how that happens.
Yeah, and it's made from like haunted sheep's blood.
Yeah.
And it becomes this beautiful thing, the beautiful tapestry that ends up in the court of a Persian king where the Arabian Nights start. And it passes throughout time. It ends up in colonial America. And finally it ends up at the top of Mount Everest, where what is Yeti called? Abominable Snowman. I guess Yeti's better.
Yeah.
Finds it, and he gives it to his baby son, who is Moe. Moe is half Yeti.
Moe is half a Yeti who was born on Mount Everest. And people
say
people say the Armin Tanzarian episode is bad.
Yeah, right. And it's Moe's blankie, for lack of a better word.
Right.
And Moe falls in love with it. He loves his blankie, and he never wants to part. And at the end of the episode, he realizes that he has family. He has the Simpsons, and he throws the rag away because he doesn't need them. And then the rag is like, "Oh, I've lost my best friend." And then Santa's little helper eats it, and he's like, "Oh, this is even better. Everybody loves dogs." And he's like, "This will last forever." Which, spoiler alert, they die pretty quick, and then you they leave a hole in your heart. Then how old's Baxter?
He's like 13, 14.
He's got a couple of years.
Yeah, he's a little guy.
Yeah, the little ones last longer. So there's a B-plot where Bart and Milhouse break up, and Bart tries desperately to get back, and eventually Milhouse takes him back by letting Dredrick Tatum punch him.
We'll talk in depth about all of these things.
Source material.
Just very quickly, we should mention this episode is loosely based on The Red Violin, which is a movie from the late 90s about a Stradivarius violin, which was red. Stratohubius. And it's kind of like world tour that it had. It starts, I think, in the 1600s, a lot like this episode started earlier. But it goes through the decades, through the centuries, and you kind of see what happens to this violin. As far as I know, I've never seen it. I don't believe the violin narrates its own life story.
I think this reminded me of $20, which is a movie from the 90s about a $20 bill that gets passed around. And it's a bunch of short stories.
It's an interesting idea. I don't know that the rag needed to talk.
Do you know what it reminded me of? And I thought about this, and I just
let
it pass by.
Yeah.
There's an Animaniacs episode with a little piece of wrapping paper that starts in a department store and then ends up in a dumpster, and a homeless man finds it and wraps his...
I do remember that.
He finds like a tooth in the garbage or something and gives it to his homeless baby. I don't know what it was.
That was one of those weird Animaniacs shorts that wasn't funny, and it was just like this sweet little thing, right? Like, it wasn't really
it wasn't
high comedy.
They weren't jokes.
Yeah.
It was sad. It was maudlin. But it was actually one of their better pieces.
Yeah, this is not one of their better... This is not one of their better Simpsons episodes. This episode is awful, and it's not because the episode is stupid. It's not a great... Please stop touching all of our nipples.
I'm not just touching them. I'm playing with the...
I know, you're putting the champagne cork on our nips.
You say that like it's...
Yeah, like it's weird. Like we're not always touching our nippies here in the Wii Studios.
Join the week.
Give us your money on Patreon.
On iTunes.
Yeah, so I just really quick want to talk about the overall in this episode, because what I hated most about this episode is not the lack of jokes, which we'll get. It was just there. Like, the idea seemed to be, hey, let's do a bunch of loose Simpsons historical things. Like, let's put the Simpsons in feudal. Exactly.
Yeah.
But with much
Bible
less
stories.
structure. What just happened to the video?
I think we are buffered out.
We just lost the video. I don't know if you guys can still see us. I was just about to make a point. We're still getting hearts, which is good. I love that. I don't know if we should... Hang on, I'm going to see if it comes up on my screen.
Oh, yeah. Maybe it just might be the periscope.tv, huh? Low battery. That's why it's not reading.
Oh, shit. Well, the video's still on my computer. Everyone is enjoying this. And we can see all the bags on the floor now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you just moved live. I'm looking right at your crotch. God damn it.
Where is the battery?
God damn it.
Where's my battery?
We were doing so well.
I know.
I need a drink.
Oh, my bad shoulder. God damn it. Oh, God, it hurts. Fuck.
This is why people listen to the podcast. We just had a comment that someone really likes your bookends. Even though he said you've mentioned them many times, but yes, they are portal bookends that Jack has over my left shoulder. I think that's who said it, so that's appropriate. Left and left. Just so you guys know what's going on, I have the Periscope up on my laptop and I can see it, but we also had it up on Jack's computer on the big screen and it went
So it's
dark.
working for everybody but our TV? Is that the situation?
I think so. I guess your phone was dying and turned off the internal video. Is that a thing?
Oh, maybe. No, that doesn't make sense. The video's fine. I can see everything on the phone.
Wait.
I think it was just
I think we're good.
Safari.
Alright, we're back. Alright, so sit your ass down. Let's fucking do this episode.
I don't know if this battery's working, but...
Battery on my computer is also dying.
Great.
That isn't good.
How's the frame?
Move more. You can't really see you. Well, now that's... now I don't know if this is a delay or where we are.
It's so fucking jarring. Disorienting. So that was on the whole time? They heard me dying in pain? Oh.
Yes. All of that is recorded for posterity. Or at least it aired. I don't know if it's being recorded.
Oh, go away, these fucking porn things. God.
I think we just need to move the entire podcasting apparatus that way. Oh, you did move it.
I'm way ahead of you, Dan.
We are. This is a top quality operation that we run here, Jack. This is free entertainment, by the way. You don't have to pay for it.
Now you sit here and you watch us wait for the frame to show up.
Alright, I just
Please
patted you on the shoulder like 10 seconds ago.
Please give us money on Patreon.
Please give us your money. Alright, so we should be okay. Yeah. So let's finish the point. I don't remember what point I was making now, so that's too bad.
Tapestry.
Right, okay, yeah, right, I got it.
Rich tapestry.
Assuming you cut everything out that what just happened, we had a little technical difficulties, but we're back. I don't remember the exact point I was trying to make, but this episode, it seemed like they wanted to do like one of those vignette episodes.
Yes.
But then just cut it up into these even smaller vignettes
Hey,
that don't really have
let's do a
beginnings or
vignette
ends.
episode, but let's not just do 3 short stories. Let's make it match
Like
up together.
it was just references for the sake of doing this weird historical episode. When you don't have to do the weird historical episode, you're choosing to do that. And
I'm fine with that. I'm fine
with it too.
Make it work.
But there was nothing. Okay, so ostensibly this episode starts with Mo doesn't have a friend, but his rag is the friend. Literally nothing in the flashbacks with the rag has anything to do with friendship.
Yeah.
The only thing that has anything to do with friendship is the B plot, which we'll talk about.
Which has nothing to do with Mo.
Has nothing to do with Mo.
The only reason Mo likes it is because it was his blankie at the end, but we don't even see if that's almost that is justification enough, but we need to see stuff with that.
Right.
Maybe he had a bad day because the Yeti left him at the playground or something. I don't know.
I mean, that's what's so strange about this episode. It's supposed to be an episode where we're getting the secret life of Moe's rag that Moe loves. We see nothing at all for why Moe loves this rag.
No.
We don't see young Moe with the rag. We don't get any of that.
And if it is your blankie, which is adorable, and baby Moe is adorable.
Yeah.
Why are you using it to wipe up?
Hey, Moma, why are you not speaking with your accent no more?
Why are you using it to wipe up shit?
But even worse than that is you're trying to connect this to Moe finally, and then at the end it's just a joke where it's a Yeti on Mount Everest gives it to his son, who is apparently Moe.
What is that?
It just raises so many questions about everything.
This episode came out,
2012.
5 years ago? 4 years ago?
Yeah,
5 years ago. Everybody's making such a big deal about the Kang and Kodo stuff. You can't have aliens in a canon episode.
Right.
Moe is half Yeti.
This episode is batshit insane.
Moe is half Yeti. There's a rag that talks.
This is an episode where Mr. Burns kills a bunch of sheep. Their blood immediately pours out, infects the wool with some sort of magic curse.
This is Hellraiser?
That then infects Marge so that she's forced to make a tapestry which tells its own future, and then that has nothing to do with anything ever again.
Yeah.
Both of those things are dropped. There's nothing about the tapestry showing its own future. There's nothing about the magic sheep blood.
That's batshit crazy enough to work. But like you said, how is something so out there?
Why are these things
boring?
happening?
No, there's no reason.
Nothing ties this episode together.
Nothing ties together. There's no jokes that make us laugh. It was literally staring
is a separate
at static.
issue.
It was such a waste of time.
Right. Things were just happening for no reason. Like this was, and then this happens, and then this happens, without any connective tissue to make an actual story. And that is why I hated this episode so much. Now, on top of that, the episode is not funny at all. I think I laughed 2 times.
I laugh a lot at these post-classic episodes. Not a lot, not compared to the old episodes.
Yeah.
I will laugh out. I get chuckles out of little stupid things. That doesn't mean I actually find them funny. Like it's kind of like just a guttural.
Yeah.
There was one big laugh. I think I have it written down.
So I wrote down. I write LOL when I actually have a good laugh.
I'm listening.
And I wrote it down twice. Once was in the beginning of the French flashback when the kids say their stomachs are rumbling, and then Marge says, "Oh, it's just people speaking French." And outside they were like, "Oh."
That was probably my favorite
That was funny.
joke. Yeah.
And then the other and opens. He thinks he has a can of Pringles, and he opens it up and it's tear gas. I laughed at that mostly just because of the acting.
I thought that was pretty funny too. Yeah.
What happened? We lost the video again?
We lost our video. Hopefully we didn't lose the video. The dildo. It's never ending.
Yeah, we're back. Okay, good. So those are the only times I laughed, and other than that, like there was nothing funny in this episode. Like there were a lot of bad puns, and like really, really layup-y type humor. Like when they're on Mount Everest, for no reason at all, comic book guy flies by and says, "Worst Everest ever," or no, worst. What was it? Worst climb to Everest ever? It was so bad.
Worst Everest ever. Now, look, you're on Mount Everest. You got. What about the video? I missed.
Worst climbing Everest.
What's up with the video? I missed Jules' comment there. Because everything's going wrong. Yeah, no. You're on Everest. I can see you having to. You have to make that pun. You can't just.
You don't. You
have to make it. You have to say it because when are you ever going to have this other opportunity? But there's got to be a way to make it better.
The gag's not that great. Just because Everest starts with ever doesn't mean you have to die.
But it's there. You got to bring it up.
I
bring it up.
I don't
it's
agree.
like the Talk song. Got to bring it up.
All right. I think if
bring it up.
If Talk says you have to bring it up, then you have to bring it up.
Talk's one of my all-time favorite bands.
Can we talk about the opening?
Can we talk about the opening?
Can we talk about this opening?
Can we talk about the opening?
This episode 100% came in short, and they were like, okay, let's just add a musical number at the beginning of the episode where the entire town of Springfield danced to Lionel Richie in Moe's bar, and for some reason Lionel Richie is there. What the fuck was that? I don't know what that was supposed to be.
Now, you say they must have been running short, so they put filler in. Clearly, you're somebody who's listened to the classic DVD commentaries of, and they always talk about how they would
they'd stretch out the couch gag,
and they find these filler scenes.
I'm not convinced
that's the case here. I think that maybe this room full of schmucks was just like, hey, you know what would be funny? A 3-minute dance scene. I'm not convinced that it was a filler. I think that they think that's substance.
Well, you know what this room of schmucks thinks? It wasn't. It was bad.
Mic drop, but we're not going to drop it because
Damn,
everything's
they're
broken.
expensive mics and everything. The floor is hot lava here at We Studios.
Please give us money on Patreon. So, we got a little ahead of ourselves. I kind of wanted to mention the couch gag.
Yeah, we can talk about the couch. I was so filled with vinegar of this episode. I just had to get some stuff out.
Vinegar skeeves me out.
Well, I'm filled with it, Jack.
I thought you were going to say Venom. I was like, ooh, I like Venom.
I gotta eat Spider-Man's brains.
Man, Sony, huh? They don't know what they're doing.
They don't know what they're doing.
They finally hit a home run with this Spider-Man MCU Robert Downey Jr. movie. Hey, let's do a Venom movie.
Let's do Venom.
But not do anything.
Nothing to set Venom up.
Let's do everything that we were trying to do with Garfield that failed miserably.
Wait, for a second, I thought you
mean the lasagna cat.
I thought they were... Wait. I have a lot of things to comment on. One, I love that you refer to Garfield as, quote, the lasagna cat.
How do you refer to him?
I don't know, but always as the lasagna cat from now on. But the idea of a cinematic universe around Garfield, I want that so bad.
Coming 2020, Odie, followed by 2022, Myrtle.
Yeah,
Nermal.
Then you get the John Solo movie, and then they all come together.
A prequel with young John Arbuckle, called Arbuckle, with Woody Harrelson as Arbuckle's mentor.
Oh my god, at least one person in our Periscope is confused. Jack meant Andrew Garfield, who played Peter Parker in the previous Spider-Man
and they were going to do like a
series.
Sinister Six movie, and they had all these weird spin-off ideas, and it failed miserably, and nobody cared, and that's why. And then they were like, all right, let's just do a Spider-Man movie that's MCU.
Yeah.
And everybody got excited. The trailer was cool, and it looks like it's going to be great. And then they're like, all right, now we're going to just do the same thing again that didn't work. And also, after the sequel, Tom Holland's not going to interact with the MCU anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I it's tough. I get it. They want to be their own. You know, they're two different movie studios.
Yeah, but one's a bad movie studio. Doesn't know what the fuck they're doing.
I mean, Sony. I don't know if they're entirely a bad movie studio. As far as their handling of Spider-Man after Spider-Man 2, I would agree they were not the greatest choices.
Have you read those hacked Sony emails?
I read some. Yeah.
Kids like EDM these days. Let's get that in there.
They did, and it was awful. Amazing Spider-Man 2. Was the most rag of Spider-Man movies.
Amazing Spider-Man 2 I like more than Amazing Spider-Man.
Oh, you are so wrong.
That's not saying much, though. And there was a really cool... one of my favorite moments in all 5 movies, actually, is in that movie, where he can...
In 2?
Yeah, he senses Electro in Times Square from, 20 blocks away. Yeah. And the cinematography was done really well. It was a very ominous scene. It was a cool Spider-Sense scene.
I hated Amazing Spider-Man 2.
It's a bad movie. I hated Amazing Spider-Man 1 because it was like Mo's rag. It was static. It was I've seen all this before.
I watched Amazing Spider-Man 1, I think the same day that I watched Man of Steel, which I hated Man of Steel.
I like Man of Steel.
Any movie that had a semblance of sense and an actual hero at the middle of it, I was kind of into. I've only seen it the one time.
It's just more of the same to me.
Yeah. Anyway, let's talk about the couch gag.
Yeah, so basically it's a honeymooners black and white couch gag. They end up in the honeymooners apartment, and it's funny. Homer makes a good Ralph Cramden, not Ralph Cramden. Ralph Cramden, and Bart was Norton, and and then they leave out the door. It's like, oh, that's cute. I was like, I wish they did something with it. That they just kind of leave, but then no, it's a whole short film couch gag, right? And they go into.
I didn't hate it. They go into Dick Van Dyke, and Homer trips over the couch. And then I think it was Brady Bunch.
Which was a 60s sitcom. Then they go into a 70s sitcom, which is Brady Bunch. Lisa gets hit, ow, my nose, her nose swells up.
Right.
Then they go into the 80s.
Then they're into Cheers. Which they did a funny thing where they're all at the bar, they're all the different characters of Cheers. There's no Frasier, because in walks Sideshow Bob. Cute little reference, because Kelsey Grammer was Frasier.
And then I said while we were watching it, and maybe you'll hear this, because Dan made us record us...
I didn't make us record. I was like, record this! We recorded ourselves. We recorded ourselves.
Don't make your voices while I'm in the bathroom.
We recorded ourselves watching the episode, so some of that may make it into the deleted scenes episode.
But I was like, "Whoa, what's the '90s show going to be?" And I said Friends, and you were like, and then at the same time we're like Seinfeld. Yeah. And then I was like, "What if they do The Simpsons?" And I was joking. And then they did The Simpsons.
That's what they actually did.
And it was cute. It was cute.
I didn't hate it.
These things go on. I don't like the long couch gags. I don't need them.
Yeah, I mean...
It was fine. I liked it on its own, but I don't know. I like couch gags that are in and out.
In an episode where I hated just about everything, I didn't hate this.
Sure. Okay, so we start at the Moe's party.
Yeah, so Mayor Quimby is giving a speech. Instead of town hall, they decided to have town hall at Moe's for whatever reason. I don't know if they said it. I just really quickly want to point out Dan Castellaneta, love him, great actor, great voice actor.
What's going on with his throat?
His Quimby in this episode sounded just like Homer.
It sounded. Oh, I didn't even notice that. I just noticed it sounded deeper.
It was barely Quimby.
It sounded deeper and like less raspier. It was just like instead of like and I can't think of a Quimby line now. Get those steel drums out of this office. It was just more like get those steel drums out of this office.
Right. Like there wasn't a lot of the Kennedy affectation that we've come to know and love.
I mean, it was there. It was,
but not turned up to 11.
Yeah, and the tenor was off, and it makes the Kennedy accent.
That's right, because Town Hall had bed bugs. That's why they had to go to Moe's. Yes.
A big part of the Kennedy voice is not the accent; it's the high pitch, and that was gone.
Yeah.
Maybe he's just
old. It was
old.
weird. Maybe
his
he had an off
larynx
day. I don't know.
Maybe his larynx is swollen.
Danny C, if you're listening, write in. Let us know.
Real quick, I wanted to say I've been seeing a few comments about my T-shirt, and thank you. I appreciate all the comments. I wanted to just get
it.
Shirt. Yeah, I just wanted to get it out to everybody because I see comments. I don't want to ignore anybody. We are also. I am terrible at multitasking. I'm missing like 50-60% of the comments.
Yeah, I'm kind of consciously not looking at them because they're coming in so late. But I am
not late as in there's an 8-second, 9-second, 20-second delay.
Yeah.
Okay, so this dance party breaks out. Basically, the mayor leaves, and they go, "Let's have a dance party," and they play some music. And like you said, it's drawn out.
Well, it's because they say, "Why does Town Hall have bed bugs? Why is there a bed?" And then it's Miss Springfield is there, and she's like, "Oh," and they like giggle because they've been fucking in the bed in Town Hall. And then awkwardly,
so the bed bugs came from her cooch.
I don't know, maybe. But then Quimby, to like redirect, just hits the jukebox and it starts playing All Night Long by Lionel Richie. And then they just dance. The entire time, like it cuts to Bart and Milhouse, like dancing together.
Now, Shrek here, commenting, actually makes a decent point. The dance party does highlight, it does serve a story purpose. It highlights that everybody has somebody to hang out with, somebody to dance with. Because we do see most people pair up, except Mo, who's kind of stuck. There's literally a physical barrier between him and the rest of the town, i.e. the bar.
Jack,
yeah,
we've been friends for a long time, over 20 years.
Yeah.
You and I have never danced once. And we never will.
We went to a $5 dance.
We did go. Yes, we did once.
And we stood on the. We were wallflowers. Literally, we stood on the wall, and then
stood up against the wall.
It got awkward, so eventually we went up and bought a Coke, 2 Cokes, one each.
We didn't share a Coke.
Then we went back down.
Yeah.
Drank the Coke. Then we went home early.
I don't think we went home early.
We didn't dance at the prom.
Like that together, not you and me dancing. I'm saying like you're saying the dancing scene is there to highlight everyone has a friend, but I'm saying to you as my friend, we don't dance together, and we probably never will. Maybe it's a Springfield thing. I don't know.
We never danced once together. I never grinded with you.
I mean, at my wedding...
I never ground... Oh, we danced at your wedding.
You were, like, all up on me at the wedding.
Was I?
At my wedding. No, you weren't.
I mean, when you had Get Lucky play, and I was...
Well, hey, man.
Get Lucky...
You were trying to get lucky.
Who's not going to grind to that song?
Old Danny M's.
What day we'll dance?
One day, we 200 will dance.
We had dance parties. Well, you weren't in my class in junior year, huh?
I know about your dance parties in physics class, but I was not a part of them.
All right. All right, great point, Shektoon. It actually so it does serve a story. I just wish then if they're going to show it for 90 seconds, it makes me laugh. Homer climbs up a wall. He's upside down. This episode's defying the law of physics within.
Yeah, I forgot about that. You're right.
He's upside down. None of the gags made me laugh. There's they cut to. The one that sticks out is what I've been thinking of for 2 hours. What is the name of Marge's mother? Jacqueline.
Yeah.
So Jacqueline Bouvier is dancing with. Thank God she's still alive. I think there was some question as to whether canon-wise she had died. Yeah.
Oh, really?
So she's dancing with Patty and Selma, and they're doing this whole fucking thing. And I guess now that you say it, it makes sense. Yeah, that's who she teams up with. Patty and Selma. But it's so out of character because.
Yeah. Patty and Selma are not known for their dancing.
Like, think of Bart versus Thanksgiving. Like, Jacqueline was the family grandma. She's old. She's cranky. She's too old to, like, give a shit and try to pretend to be nice. She's just saying what's on her mind.
She's the opposite of Marge.
And she sits there in the chair and she criticizes. That's what grandmas do.
Yeah.
They don't fucking do this fucking dancing thing because they don't have the energy. They'll break a hip. They'll hurt their fucking rotator cuff.
Yeah.
And they'll be in horrible pain. First of all, you're breaking... This is what we're talking about with what's the difference between classic and post-classic.
Yeah.
This is a joke for joke's sake. It has nothing to do. You're breaking character to make this joke.
This is who can we have? It would be funny to see dance. An old lady.
Right. Yeah, and that's my second point. Is that a joke? Because all right, fine. Shrek Toon is right. This dancing did actually serve a story point, but
a shitty
there
story.
was
I don't think it
nothing.
did.
There was nothing worth. There was nothing. It was not enjoyable to watch. There was nothing funny going on.
If you are trying to establish everyone in town has friends, there's much better ways to do it than
And
Lionel
do
Richie's
the
All Night
writers
Long.
expect me? And I'm going to get to this later on too. Do the writers expect me to go watch this, and then Lionel Richie shows up while they're playing a Lionel Richie song?
Right.
Am I supposed to go, hey, that's the guy that's singing right
That's the
now,
guy who sings the
and
song.
then provoke some kind of guttural laugh from that? Like, that's not going to make me laugh. I get that that's funny that that's there.
It's funny
it's
in the
not-
sense, like, why would Lionel Richie be in this random bar that's playing a song? But that's not
I guess I'll bring this up.
It's reference.
I guess I'll bring this up now. I wanted to bring it
Yeah.
up in the Nelson Arabian Nights thing because that's
Okay,
where it was
well, we'll
most
get
prevalent.
there.
But like you were saying before, the jokes aren't funny. They're just so what these feel like to me, and they get them right. Is you're writing a script. If you took a Simpsons script and you took out anytime there was a funny, 3 jokes a page. Every time there's a funny gag or joke, if you take it and you just redact it like CIA style, you highlight it with a black highlighter and you take it out. That's where the joke should be. And I feel like a lot of these episodes have all those beats in the right places.
There's spots that there should be jokes.
That should be a joke.
Yeah.
And they put a joke there. They put a moke there.
Right.
But it's not funny. It's just this weird, like, hey, Lionel Richie's there. He shouldn't be there. But that's not going to elicit a laugh from me. And I feel like this episode's full of, and a lot of post-classic episodes are full of moments like the beats are there, the jokes are there.
Right.
But they're barely jokes.
I agree with you. And I just want to point out real quick, one of our Periscope viewers pointed out that the dancing grandma is a bit of a trope. So maybe they were trying to play off of that. But even if you're doing that, I don't think Marge's mother is the character to go to. Get the woman
Cat lady. Have Cat Lady
Crazy
throwing
Cat
cats.
Lady. That makes sense. Or
Throwing
even
cats.
the woman who said, "Can I come too?" Oh.
I'll be back in a jiffy.
All right. I'll
No, I
field
just want
questions from the listeners.
My OCD is driving me nuts. I need this frame to be fucking symmetrical.
All right.
I think I made it
I
worse.
thought you had to pee. Well, we're not going to find out for a half an hour. But don't change it again because now it's going to be like fine and then you're going to move it. Oh boy.
Agnes
Agnes
Skinner.
Skinner
Yeah,
would have been great.
Perfect.
Mrs.
Here we-
Glick would
all
have been
right.
great. I think she's dead.
All right,
Is she
I get
dead in canon?
I don't think so. Why would she be dead?
Because she's old.
That episode where Mrs.
People
Glick
died.
was shot and killed.
Yeah, I love that episode. Oh my god. And Mo is the one who killed her.
He raped her to death.
Oh boy.
That's what he does.
No rape in this episode, which I liked.
Oh, that's better. Oh wait, did I move it again?
No, that was the second move, so you did good. Good job, Past Jack.
Hey, if only he knew what Future Jack was in for.
Oh boy.
It's just all downhill.
All right, so that was the dancing
There's
thing.
a joke here that ties into this whole friendship thing that I actually laughed at. This was one of the 3 or 4 jokes I really liked.
Okay.
Even though it's weird for me as a concept that Mo is on Facebook and has Facebook friends. Again, I'm not trying to mire myself in classic era Simpsons. Sure, the Simpsons have Facebook.
Okay.
Mo says he's I got friends. I just Facebook friended Pepto Bismol.
Right.
That's a funny idea to me because these stupid corporate things.
There's corporate pages and accounts.
Yeah,
that are like profiles.
and I love the idea that if Mo would friend one and consider that the same level Facebook friend as an actual friend. To me, that's a smart and funny joke.
It is. Maybe they could have done more with it. I mean, it's more clever than funny. Maybe
I saw it fading away. I caught it in the corner of my eye. If somebody made a comment, at least they never made a joke about Mo's rag being used to wipe up masturbation.
Yeah, that's a good call. I would not have liked to see
extra
that.
point in the hippo scale for that. I guess.
Hey, he's always there for me when I'm alone. Yeah, feeling lonely.
I hate to just leave it on my hand for the rest of the night while
Jesus.
I'm cooking pork chops.
So
that rag comes through.
That was too specific. It makes me think that happened to you at some point.
I don't cook pork chops.
I like that that's the part that you discredit. I don't cook pork chops.
Too much work.
Oh boy, I'm not shaking your hand, Jack.
Why? It's just covered in semen. Ow!
That's what you get for taunting with your semen hands.
With my semen shoulder.
All right, so let's get into this Bart Milhouse thing because at the end of the whole friendship dance thing, there's a moment where everyone's ragging on Mo. No pun intended, but I guess partial pun intended.
Ragging on is a perfect word for it.
Yeah. Then Bart says, "Even I have Milhouse," and Milhouse is like, "Oh, I'm getting tired of this."
Out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere. And he's just like, that's what friendship is. And I dish it out and you take it. And then Milhouse is like, fuck you, Bart. You gotta respect me. Fuck this shit. Fuck you. He doesn't actually say all that, but
and this is a show. This is a show that's like completely status quo, self-contained every week. And this is building on 23 seasons of Milhouse taking shit from Bart. Out of no.
Literally, there's no provocation for Milhouse to be like, that's it. We're not friends anymore.
If this was a serialized show, if this was
this was Lost.
Lost, yeah. And last episode, Milhouse was like, really just couldn't take it anymore. Fine, you can have a cold opening like this. But no, this is a self-contained sitcom. Can we have one scene where Milhouse is sick of his shit?
All we need is Bart to
we've seen this like 10 times before.
Physically humiliate Milhouse. Just anything. Just something that isn't just
he's dancing. He jumps into the middle of the dance floor. And
he pulls Milhouse's pants down.
Yeah, exactly.
And everyone sees he's wearing like little girl underwear or something. I don't know.
They see he grew his first blue pube.
Oh God. No one wants to see that. Although if you look at Playboy when Marge was in it,
did she have blue?
No, it was just boobs.
Oh,
it was so. What is it? A sad moment in the Simpsons history. When
if
Marge
you're gonna go all out and put Marge in Playboy, just the thought of it really fucking turns my stomach.
It's bad.
If you're going to put cartoon porn in a mainstream adult magazine,
at
least go all the way and show some blue fur, and have the article say. The carpet doesn't match the curtains because there's no corn on the cob down there.
Oh, God.
Is that too obscure?
What a multi-level Simpson fan joke. There's no corn on the cob down there. I love it. Do you want to bang out the whole...
Should that be the name of the episode? There's no corn on the cob down there?
Oh, God. You want to bang out the whole...
Let's get the B-plot out. Let's get the B-plot out.
So yeah, Bart and Milhouse break up, for all intents and purposes.
Gay?
And then, look, they do go a little heavy on the rom-com tropes of Bart throwing rocks in Milhouse's window like it's saying anything or something. And
they literally call it a divorce at some point, I think.
Yeah, and none of this really worked for me because A, the justification for Milhouse doesn't exist. But then why is Bart so obsessed with getting Milhouse back?
They are just going through these.
They're going through the motions of what this story should have.
With zero justification.
They break up. Yeah. He wants to get back together. He wants to do something to.
Why
get him back.
is Bart's life less without a Milhouse? And it's weird to be asking these questions because I'm fairly sure we've seen 4 or 5 episodes with the exact same plot.
Probably not better than season 3.
Samantha Stanky.
No. Actually, no, not even that one. I'm thinking of the one where Milhouse's mom doesn't let him play with Bart anymore.
Oh, right, yeah.
And he doesn't get invited to his birthday party. I can't remember.
Milhouse to Bart. I'm sorry.
Don't hate me.
Yeah, exactly.
Great moment.
Oh, brutal.
Yeah.
Instead of
Instead of this, it's just like, fuck you, eat my shit, I'm fucking Milhouse.
I really think...
What a dick.
Yeah, don't hate me was much more emotional.
Yeah,
than
much more.
Fuck you, eat my shit.
Fuck you, eat my shit, I'm Milhouse.
Fuck you, this my shit. All the girls. Right? Is that it?
Yeah, that's it. Milhouse's hit single. Fuck you, eat my shit. Because I ain't no Milhouse back, girl.
Stupid. Why are you listening? Why are you watching this? It's Friday night. Go out, socialize.
Oh, someone on the Periscope said it's the B plot to Homer defined. Yes, which is also season 3. But yeah, I mean, there's been really great Milhouse Bart episodes. I'm not saying that this has to be the greatest Milhouse Bart breakup story ever. All I'm saying is give me something. Why is Milhouse so upset now? Why does Bart want him back now?
No, there's none of that.
None of that there. It's just, we're friends. You all know we're friends because this is season 23, and this is what we should be doing.
Yeah, I almost don't want to spend time on this because this B-plot shouldn't be in the episode at all.
Yeah, well, okay, I don't...
Because not only is it a B-plot, it's a B-plot to an A-plot that's taking place in a completely other...
In the past.
This isn't Lost.
Yeah, right. There's flashbacks.
It's really jarring to have a very, very traditional B-plot in this very non-traditional episode.
Agreed, completely.
There should be a you could do a B-plot. You don't have to. We've seen plenty of great episodes that was just A-plot. Okay. Especially from this era.
2 notes. One, if you're going to do a B-plot, maybe put Moe in it.
2 options for B-plot. Either it's about Moe in present day, and what it should be is
why
about...
Moe is sad. Why the rag makes Moe's life better.
Exactly. That's what it should be.
Yeah.
If for whatever reason you're not doing that, then the B-plot should also take place in the historical time.
Sure.
Maybe there's another rag, or maybe Marge's character is immortal and we follow her. There's either got to be something parallel to that rag storyline, or I think the better option, like you're saying, Moe. We should be following Moe. This is a story about
a Moe episode.
It's actually called Moe's Rags to Riches.
Yeah.
And I kept calling it in my head Moe's Rag. I thought it was about Moe's Rag. It is about Moe's Rag.
It is about Moe's Rag.
But the title is about Moe and the
Mo going from rags to riches. There's no riches.
Well, no, there is. The arc of the episode
there
is
riches.
Mo going from no friends to realizing he's had friends all along.
Right.
But if the episode is about Mo's arc, then Mo should be in the episode and not just in one scene in the middle and in the beginning and the end.
I completely agree. The other thing I wanted to point
out... The B-plot was terrible.
The Bart Milhouse thing, for whatever reason, it opens each of the acts. So when we come back from break, we start with the Bart Milhouse scene. And I don't know why that... I guess because then the continuity of the flashbacks has to be maintained.
Okay.
I have no idea.
That's a great observation. That's a weird choice.
It was a very odd choice. And also, the scene where Bart is throwing rocks at Milhouse's window, there's a point where Milhouse takes the rock and then puts it in the rock collection and, like, writes the name of the rock. I don't know if there was a joke there, but it was a weird, like, 30 to 40 seconds that was just, like, nothing.
All right, I guess I'll bring this up then. So this episode had 3 or 4, including that, instances of... I don't know if we have a name for this yet.
Yeah.
It's not an extra beat, because there's only one beat, but the beat goes on too long.
It's a rotten beat. It's an extra long beat.
It got rotten on the vine? Overripe?
Beats grow on rotten vines? I don't know how beats go. Beats are
I see. You meant like a rotten beat.
Yeah.
Like the vegetable beat. I didn't make that connection.
I meant like the vegetable, the beat. Like the band from Doug. The Beats.
It just went on too long.
I don't
know rotten. I don't know if rotten works.
It was a bad beat.
Bad beat.
Bad beat.
It's a bad beat.
And now got bad
but it's not bad. It just went on too long. There's an act break where it just lingers on Mo for a while. There's another thing. Yes. I think it was a Peanuts Linus reference. I don't know Peanuts at all. I've never seen a Peanuts before.
Really? Oh,
I've seen like 5 minutes.
Deprived, Jack.
I watch it for like.
You're
5
watching too much Lasagna
It's
Cat.
Too fucking boring. I watch it for like 5 minutes. I'm like, nope.
All right.
Sliders, please.
Yeah. The Crowbags have separated Jerry O'Connell and his brother.
This is way better than a Charles Schultz classic.
I think it was supposed to be a Linus thing, because Linus, from the Peanuts, he has his blanket, and the music that they played with Mo when he was kind of snuggling up with his rag was a very jazzy, what's his name? Vince Guaraldi, I think is the guy's name, who did the famous jazz music for
I think
Peanuts.
That might have been most thing. But anyway, they just linger on it.
They do. There's a lot of weird lingering in this episode.
He's just rubbing his face with the rag for like 30, 40 seconds.
Which is why I think this episode ran
I might have
short.
to go to the hospital. This is worse, way worse. This is really bad.
Oh, boy.
This is a lot worse than I thought. Oh, man.
Can you do this?
No.
Oh, boy. You may need a sling or something. You may have pulled your rotator cuff.
Fuck. Like, it's incredible amount of... I've never felt pain like this in my life.
Yeah. You want to take some Tylenol or something?
I'm talking about the episode.
Hey, me too.
No, I don't want to take aspirin because I'm drinking.
Oh, yeah. Well, you can take Advil, because Advil... Do you have Advil?
No.
Only Tylenol affects you.
I keep Advil at work.
All right.
Anyway.
Anyway, I don't really have much else to say about the Bart Milhouse thing. The only other thing, something I didn't laugh out loud, but I thought was kind of funny, is you pan over and you see that Kirk is also throwing rocks at the at the house, and then Luann chokes on one, and he says, "If you let me in, I'll give you the Heimlich," and she turns her back on him and just walks away. She's okay.
She passes out. Like she literally won't let him come in to save her life.
Yeah,
and she presumably dies.
Which is fine. He's Kirk Van Houten. He's life's punching.
He's a schlub. I guess this was before they got back together.
I guess. I don't know. I don't even know anymore, man. But that's really it for the Bart Milhouse thing.
It wraps with a really terrible...
oh, yeah. Of course we gotta talk about this.
So, Bart writes a letter. He's like, hey, I wrote you this really heartfelt letter, but Milhouse like, Lisa wrote it. And Lisa's like, I sure did. This was really, like static is the perfect word for it. I'm just, like, watching it. No emotion. Just nothing. Just lots of eye rolls all around. Anyway, finally he goes, well, I'll let you hit me. And Miller's like, okay, but
would you let someone else hit you?
Yeah. And Bart's like, I guess. And he somehow picks Dredrick Tatum.
Immediately, Dredrick Tatum pulls up in a limo, gets out, and then it fades out so we don't actually see Dredrick Tatum punch Bart. I think because they don't want to show a child being punched by a fully grown man who's a boxer. And then it's just Bart rubbing his shoulder, much like you are. And then that's it. And then there's no resolution.
I'm trying not to be racist. A large black man punched me on the way here. I didn't want to bring it up because things are tough these days.
Was he a boxer also?
No, he was a street tough.
Oh, one of those street toughs, huh? Oh boy, oh boy. We got a lot of those in Brooklyn.
It hurts so much. This was terrible. And this is like where a joke should be. It's like, all right, some kind of funny way for Bart to get punched or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. And then how does Milhouse know this? boxer. What's
right? That's exactly what I'm saying. Like so many things in this episode, it's there because it's there,
and then that's it.
There's no reason.
Milhouse goes, all right, that punch should do it. We're friends now, and the rest of the episode they're friends.
Yep. What is end of storyline?
That is
terrible.
You know, you're starting to convince me. That might be one of the late. I'm trying to think back. It's been 100 episodes. They all blur together. And I've never listened to I've re-listened to one.
This episode may be straight zeros. We'll see.
I can't think of. I feel like we've had this conversation before. I can't think of a lazier ending to an episode. Lazier throughout. That plot was just lazy.
Yeah.
That makes that fucking doorbell.
The Senor.
That makes the Vincent Price egg thing look like fucking.
Hello, Jody.
Casablanca.
Well, because at least we get Dan Castellaneta's Vincent Price voice is fun. The whole Jody thing is super weird, but it like kind of makes sense.
I can do it. It hurts.
But now can you do this? Probably not.
Maybe it's right here.
All right, so it might be your pec instead of your shoulder.
This is the pec.
Like, is it like right here?
Yeah,
like
right there. Yeah,
yeah, that's your pec.
What's that? Is that a muscle or is that a tendon?
That's a muscle.
Oh, that's good. Those
might be
heal
okay.
up, right?
Yeah, you might be alright.
Yeah, dickless over
here.
That's
an odd place to have a pain. Like right here, really?
Yeah, right here.
After the podcast, I would ice it.
Maybe I will.
That's my 2 cents. As a doctor of laws, that's what I think you should do.
Thank you. As a law.
As a law.
I need a doc.
You need Doc Ock. Oh no. Guy named Octavius winds up with 8 limbs. How do you like that?
That's not a bad J. Jonah Jameson.
Oh, thank you. I was working on it for hours.
You want to see my Bill Munn?
Is it just a dead guy? It's so sad because he was such a good actor. He was so good at Do the Right Thing.
Oh, he's great in Sister Act.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Bill Munn.
R.I.P. Bill Munn. Bill Nunn.
Bill Nunn. Let me get his name. Bill Munn is Bill Mooney from Bill.
That's a totally different person.
I'm trying, Dan. I really am. I can't remember the last time I drank half a bottle of champagne. It's not tasty. I want beer.
It's not bad.
It's not bad. I want beer. It's not bad. It's not bread.
Oh. All right. I'm assuming all this will be deleted, but we'll take a little break, top ourselves off, and then we'll get into the A plot here. How you guys doing on the Periscope? Good.
This is it's gonna be a long one. I'm sorry, guys. I hope this is. Entertaining.
Look,
watching me wince in pain for 2 hours.
To be honest to you and to the Periscope viewers who are watching this, I don't have all that much to say about this episode as far as like scene by scenes go.
Here's my
notes.
I
think we can wrap it up pretty quick.
I can't do it. The computer weighs 1.2 kilograms.
What were you doing at the gym? What were you doing yesterday? Were you at the gym yesterday? Because that's when
so I did it the last 3 days, and you're not supposed to work out arms, but
Wait, you did the same muscle groups like 3 days in a row? You should not do that.
Not exactly, but sort of. I was like trying to go easy on the muscle group with different machines, but they were basically still doing the muscle. It was that and the VR. Yeah, no, I pushed myself. I never used the machines at the gym before. I've always done free weights.
Yeah, you should.
And I finally discovered I was finally like doing a machine. I was like, oh, I like this. This is fun. And I was like, oh, this is really hard, but it's easy because of the machine.
That's why. This is the exact reason you should not use the machines. Free weights are better because it's more.
You know when you're done.
Well, yeah, and it's all about muscle stabilization. Like the machines are a very limited range of motion. This is not the workout cast
featuring 2 toughs, Dan
Two street toughs who punch each other in the shoulder. Anyway, let's get into the A plot.
I hope my street tough comment was perceived as ironically racist and not genuinely racist.
There's no such thing as ironic racism, Jack.
Tell that to 30 Rock with all their black jokes about Tracy Morgan.
Yeah.
Boy. Anyway,
how
much you bench? This is how much you bench.
Yeah,
that's an SNL sketch with Emilio Estevez.
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember that.
One. This isn't 90s percentile.
It's not. 60 minutes are on the clock and straight out of We Studios. This is 90s percentile.
I would love it if we somehow wrapped up in 60 minutes, but somehow I doubt it.
No, I think we can wrap up.
Okay.
I think we're close to done. To be honest with you.
So Jeremy starts in French medieval times.
What just happened here? We lost the video again.
I think we're just losing the video. What you just said. Ooh, excuse me.
I wonder if it just like times out because we're back. Yeah, all right, fuck it. Anyway, pick up where you left off. We'll cut that out.
Oh, will we? Are you editing? Are you spending 3 hours a weekend?
I'm going to cut that out.
I'll probably cut it. But
got a weekend to do it.
Oh,
That's
everybody.
what you want to do on your weekends, right?
Seems like everybody lost it, so it was...
Yeah.
See, that's why I want to do YouTube on the desktop. The desktop has a way faster internet than the Wi-Fi.
Let's do this before the next live episode.
You say that.
We figure out YouTube.
You said we'll figure out merchandise 2 years ago. We'll figure out Patreon
Actually,
2 years ago.
We'll
figure out 80%. No, we're not going to do that.
We may have T-shirts somewhat soon. I showed you that email that we got, right?
Yeah, but we've gotten so many emails. We're like, oh, we're going to jump on this, and we never did.
Apologies. We may have T-shirts.
All the guests we
said
we'd have on, and never did.
We've had a lot of good guests on.
We have. I'm saying we also ignore lots of emails because we say, oh, put a pin on this, and then we go back to our day jobs and our lives.
Yeah, it's tough.
Again, $10 million on Patreon. We will quit our jobs and do this full time. I guess we'll rent. We'll get a studio.
I guess.
We don't have to do it in my living room if I'm too.
If we got $10 million, we can put this into the
So $5 million.
$5 million
taxes.
each.
No.
Well, $5 million each, and then taxes. You figure at least
half.
$3 million each, probably.
With Trump in the White House.
Hey,
not likely.
we're gonna reform all the taxes. It's gonna be great. We studios are gonna get some money.
I'd like to say $2.5 million.
Well, let's even say it's $2.5 million.
So
I can pay off all of my debts.
Exactly.
That's $2 million right there.
So we can live off of, not for the rest of our lives, but we can
not for the rest of our lives.
Become professional podcasters for a few years where we can go, all right, maybe if this doesn't work out, we jump back into our full-time
If
jobs.
we each got $2.5 million, this is exactly what I would do. I'd pay off all of my loans.
Oh, I know what I'd do.
I would buy a place to live, and then I'd put the rest in the bank and just live off the interest.
Would you be able to live off of $2 million interest?
Probably not forever.
Here's what I would do. I would buy a building. I would say we both buy a building.
Yeah.
We put the studio somewhere in there. We rent out the other rooms. We live off the rent.
Yeah, that could be something. That could be good too.
All right, so
guys,
we got to line up.
We got
to line up. Just we need one donator, $10 million. We do 5 weekly podcasts full time and a monthly 6th podcast about you, the donor.
I would love if that was our fucking jobs, to just podcast all day, every day.
All right, third podcast.
Mondays, 90th percentile. Tuesdays,
Wednesdays, Stephen King podcast.
Stephen King podcast.
Thursdays, Chronological Lost podcast.
Oh, man.
Friday.
Free Friday!
No, Free Friday.
Free finally gets his own show, and success will surely follow.
Friday, some kind of topical news podcast.
Sure, why not? I don't know. We got all this time on our hands now.
I remember we were talking about something like that in the pool at the hotel.
My birthday 2 years ago?
Yeah, I had a good title for it.
Yeah, I don't remember.
All of this matters.
Oh, right.
It turned into 90th percentile, so that's fine.
Yeah.
Anyway, $10 million, guys.
$10 million, it's not that much. If you guys pull together.
It's not that much. I'll take $10, guys.
$10 would be.
I won't quit my job, and we won't have time to get T-shirts ready. But I'll take the $10.
Yeah.
I need to pay these Doc bills.
And your Doc Ock bills, because he's...
the damage he does to...
Why have you not gotten me Spider-Man?
Is that what he sounds like?
That was more cartoon Doc Ock than Alfred Molina Doc Ock.
Where were we? France. We come from France. You did a Simpsons reference from a very well-regarded episode.
I did, and you went Coneheads. Coneheads, underrated movie.
Yeah. Very underrated.
That's a solid flip.
You know my favorite part? Dan Aykroyd's no asshole.
No crack either, right? He was just like
nubs and...
You're right, he did have nubs. How did the poop come out of the nubs? How do Coneheads poop?
Well, I'm sure it's like nipples. Like milk comes out of nipples.
Yeah, but
there's a duct.
But you're not like pooping milk out of your nipples.
Well, we're not Coneheads. We also have flat heads.
That's fair. You're right. That's fair. When I dive, it's not a perfect...
I don't chew condoms.
Well, I do.
I don't use them at all.
Yeah, there you go.
Can't feel nothing.
Yeah.
Because we were mutilated. Yes. I work at a school. Our listeners know us, right? And they know, they know friend of the show, Nick Noga. They've listened to his well-regarded 90th percentile.
Yes.
He's just talking to me about how circumcision is mutilation.
I know. It kind of is.
But it's in public. In an office, with students around.
In a work setting.
He's just like, what if I said, I had just cut off this woman's clitoris, but it's okay. God said it was okay. Would that be okay? It's like, look, I agree.
He's got a point. maybe not the best forum.
Yeah, we were talking about militant atheism. Well, he was talking about atheism, and I was talking about how I hate militant. It doesn't matter.
All right. Anyway, let's get back on to the rags.
You can find that out on our atheism podcast.
That's
Sundays. Because we don't rest.
No reason to rest podcast.
We record outside of a studio, out of a church, butt naked, with big erections.
And we dance together.
$10 million. That's all we need.
$10 million. It could happen. And Hemus can come along too.
Why not? You give me $2.5 million. I'll Hemus it up.
I don't believe in God, and that's canon.
I am God. Durr! I'm back from the dead. Happy Easter. Durr!
Losing our fucking minds. We gotta bring this comeback show. That hasn't even aired yet.
That hasn't aired yet. We have a great 90% off for you guys on Monday, guys.
All right, let's do this train back in the right direction. Mo's rag starts telling the story of his life.
My shoulders started hurting again.
Goes back to feudal France. Another, terrible...
This episode was feudal.
It was. Another, terrible there, but did you have to go for it pun. They're in old-timey France, and it says, today's surf report. But it's SERF.
Fine.
I didn't hate it, but it was not like a laugh out loud.
Why didn't I find it funny? Is it because, we've talked about this before, is it because the sign gag was prominent, not just a quick one-off? Not just a quick and VCR freeze frame gag?
Here's why, I think. It's totally a pun joke, like surf and surf. Those are two words that sound alike.
That's what I always order when I go to a seafood restaurant.
Surf and surf?
It's surf and surf.
Well, that's really... I love lobster!
And I love poor peasants.
But I feel like in a classic episode, it would have been something a little bit more... I don't know. Trenchant is the word I came up with, but I don't want to sound super pretentious. But a little more nuanced, a little smarter.
What's wrong with I was talking about this yesterday. What's wrong with using big words?
I don't know. You're right.
Donald Trump has a 200-word vocabulary.
Jack, all of my words are great. Literally, the word great, I say it all the time. It's great.
Alec Baldwin was on Fresh Air, and he said his Trump impression is he always thinks Trump takes a minute to think of the word he's thinking of and then comes up with the most obvious word possible. I think it's really great.
That's fair. That's our president.
I'm sick of this fucking anti-elitism. Use big words. Use trenchant. This was trenchant all over the fucking place.
I feel like...
trenchant out the asshole.
They would have had a more trenchant insight.
Yeah.
In a sign gag. It would have had something, some historical context to feudal France, instead of just a pun where surf and surf are two words that sound similar.
I agree. There is a French gag I like, though. So the kids they're very poor. It's the Dark Ages.
Yeah.
It's Marge, it's Bart, it's Lisa. They're all French. I don't know if they have French accents, but they're doing all French puns all over the place.
They did have French accents, and it was unbearable.
Yeah. And Lisa says, my stomach, what's French?
J'ai mal au stomach.
Yeah.
I have a stomach ache.
And then she's like, it's groaning, and you hear it groaning, and it sounds like...
Right.
And Marge goes, that's not your stomach. Those are two Frenchmen speaking French, which would be weird.
Which is not what you would say. That's two men speaking.
But they cut to outside, and there's two French guys talking in French. And the sounds worked. I laughed at that. Just the...
that was...
Bonjour.
Like I said before, that was one of my laugh out louds.
That was funny.
That was one of my lulls.
What did you think of the Flanders?
I was just going to say, that's another, it's right there, but did you have to go for it? Joke?
I think you have to go for it.
I don't
When are you going to ever be able to reference the region of Flanders again in The Simpsons?
But you don't have to. It's... What's the joke, other than, Homer knows a man whose name is Flanders and doesn't like him, and now he's in the region Flanders.
That is the joke. Here's the thing. We said this earlier.
Yeah.
Comedy is surprise. So what you have to do is you have to seed it in a way where it takes you by surprise and go, oh, that's so obvious, that's hilarious.
Okay.
Whereas they don't do that, they telegraph it from a mile away.
I think that's a very fair comment, and if it had been a little bit more surprising, I probably would have liked
Homer
it.
goes, I have to go to Flanders. Stupid Flanders. Insert joke, how about those clowns on Congress? That's
what it basically was.
I do think you should make the Flanders joke. It's there. That's a funny joke to make. But it has to take me by surprise. If I'm fully expecting a Flanders joke, and if you're not fully expecting a Flanders joke because it was so telegraphed, you're somebody who forgot your history, which is fine. And Flanders is not a big part of the big. It's not fucking.
It's not Paris.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. So then that person's not even gonna get the joke. They're gonna be like, "What?
Flanders, I don't get it."
That's
true. It would go totally over their head. They wouldn't even realize the reference that the joke was.
Exactly.
Like, it's not one of those situations where, in the classic episodes, where they would make a reference to some semi-obscure historical thing.
You get, yeah, exactly.
You roll with it because you get, oh, that is a real thing. I don't need to know what it was to appreciate the reference.
I have a couple of cousins who are not Simpsons fans. They don't know good comedy, really. They voted for Donald Trump. And I remember when I was a kid, they were like, The Simpsons has so many jokes you don't even get them the first time. I was like, I get them all. I love The Simpsons. They go, no, you don't get the jokes. They're too adult. They were right. But I was like, fuck you. You don't know what I'm so much more of a Simpsons fan than you are. I was right.
It's tough.
We were all right.
It's tough.
Until they voted for Trump. Then I was more right.
It's tough dealing with dum-dums.
Yeah. Dum-dums, Docs, and Lolas.
Oh, man. There's an episode title.
Wait, does that make me you're the Lola?
I don't know which one you are. You ain't no Doc. I also, actually, I did laugh at this, too. So we get Burns comes in, and he's supposed to be like the feudal lord, I guess. And he wants Marge to knit him a tapestry of his deeds, and he shows a bunch of etchings, I guess, of his life. And there was one, here's me hanging out with friends, and it was him hanging out with demons, which I thought that was
Well, it was like the classic medieval...
Right, the medieval art style.
Dancing skeleton thing, yeah. I actually...
That whole stretch of the visual gags was actually kind
of funny.
We're
running way late, and we've really got to cut the tangents out, but I got to tell this tangent because I don't know. Right. Again, I don't know when else this is the time to do it, just like a Flanders joke.
Yeah.
I got this book. I saw it in the bookstore. It was The Last Man by Mary Shelley.
Okay.
And I was excited about it because it's technically the first post-apocalyptic work ever.
Okay, interesting.
And, she's famous for Frankenstein, obviously, for the first science fiction novel ever. And she also invented the first it's basically The Stand. Everybody dies of a plague.
Okay.
It's an awesome book.
So Stephen King ripped off Mary Shelley.
And the cover is those, like, medieval skeletons, like, dancing a jig.
Yeah, right.
And I was waiting the entire book for, like, this guy to dance with him. And eventually, spoilers for The Last Man, you really should read it.
Spoilers for this 200-plus-year-old book.
Eventually, the entire world dies of the flu, or whatever it is, except for one guy, The Last Man.
Yeah.
I guess it's not spoilers, it's the title. He... Oh, God damn it. Anyway, I don't even know if this is recording.
I don't know.
Let me see. It says connected.
We're getting the audio at least.
See, this is why we gotta get to switch to YouTube. I don't think Podcast Terror ever has shit like this.
No, I don't think so.
So anyway, I'm waiting this whole time for this guy to get visited by demons. I'm assuming everybody dies and the demons come in and they're like, hey, well, you're the only human left. That never happens. It was just imagery.
Yeah.
Until he spoiled the book for me.
Lame.
Actually, I think he died. No, I don't remember.
The Last Man dies?
No, he makes it, actually.
Yeah, we all die in the end.
Anyway, it's a good book. You should read it.
I probably won't, but we talked briefly about the whole murdered sheep blood thing.
Well, I won't read your fucking Gotham comics. How about that?
Well, you've had them for years.
Since Weed number 2.
Or
3, I think.
3, 4 we did on the same day. Anyway, that's not important.
What did you think? I liked this joke, and then you didn't, and now it makes me think maybe I shouldn't have liked it. Maybe I was wrong. Because, again, I'm going by gut, and then when I think back on it, I'm usually wrong. But I gutturally laughed at Burns kills a bunch of sheep or whatever. He does some heinous crime.
Yeah.
He goes, I'm sorry, forgive me. And the priest, Smithers, goes, absolved.
Yeah.
I like that. I thought that was a fun commentary on how, like, basically people just paid for indulgences and...
Yes.
You do whatever you want, you confess at the end, and it's about how religion's bullshit. And basically just
right,
like,
how rich people could buy indulgences in the Catholic Church. Get out of sins.
Or even these days, you're an asshole your whole life, and on your deathbed you go, Jesus, help, and then you go to heaven.
Right, like Bart said in, was it Faith Off, right?
What's Faith Off?
That's the one where he becomes a faith healer. That wonderful episode.
We didn't cover that, did we?
We haven't covered it yet, but it's season 11.
I'm surprised. Oh, it's season 11. Yeah. I was gonna say, I didn't know you watched any post-classics.
No, that's canonical to me. But anyway, Bart says he's going to recant.
I don't think I've seen that episode since it aired.
With Brother Faith's revival?
That's season 11?
Maybe it's season 12. It's actually not a terrible episode.
I can't remember watching that in the last 10, 15, 20 years.
It might be season 10 actually, because I feel like we've asked trivia questions about it. But anyway, I don't know what that comment means.
Rich Burke? I like him.
I like him too.
Guy, good buddy from high school.
That guy I went to high school with. I don't remember what I was going to say. I don't remember what we were talking about. Did you ask me a question?
Did you like the absolve joke?
Yeah, I thought it was fine, but I thought it was fine. I don't really have a butt to that. It was okay. if you want to take the Catholic Church down a peg, I'm all for it.
Oh, I thought this was smart. So you made a joke in the beginning. Duff Man makes some stupid joke about try this new Spanish Duff from Mexico.
Right, it was Sangre de la Muerte,
and you translated
it
that.
means blood of the dead.
And then Moe's rag, I guess, was brought to life by the blood of these dead sheep that burn and slaughters for no reason.
I guess.
Is that foreshadowing? We like foreshadowing. Right?
I guess, but it's never tied into anything. So this weird thing happens where Burns kills all these sheep, and the blood is baked into the rag. I guess that's what makes the rag talk.
That just made me think of periods. You said blood baked into rags. Where's my mind gonna go?
Periods, apparently. But there was, is that just justification for, that's why this rag is talking? Because, look, it's season 23, you've done a bunch of weird shit already. We don't really need a justification for why the rag's talking if the episode is good, which it's not.
But aren't good things that the writers did right? Shouldn't we reward them for that, even if they're kind of an island that's not connected to anything else? That's good? Oh,
yes, do
you know how bad this shoulder is for an Italian American who uses hand gestures for 90% of his communication?
I'm watching myself on the 8 or 10 second delay, and I'm noticing that I do a lot of hand gestures.
We're from Staten Island.
I know. I guess we're expressive people.
It's what you do.
It's what you do.
It's like Geico.
It's so easy a caveman can do it. Am I right?
I don't know what that is.
That's also Geico. They got a lot of different ad campaigns. And they gotta go all the way to see it.
There's a guy that keeps liking all my my girlfriend's Facebook posts, in a way where I'm being a jealous boyfriend, and I'm 90% sure it's the Geico guy. Ken Geico! I'm pretty sure, she works a lot of movies and commercials. I'm pretty sure it's him.
It's the Geico guy.
And I'm just why is he... it's not likes. It's she comments, she posts a really pretty picture, and he's just great picture, winky face. And I'm
God.
Ken Geico!
Yikes.
Ruining the Ken Geico guy for me.
Yikes.
Probably not even him.
Yeah, so anyway, Marge makes this quilt, or this tapestry, that eventually becomes the rag. I mentioned before, it has its own future on it, which they do nothing with that except a joke where Homer eats the rag.
I think that was going somewhere where, it was prophetic and can tell the future. That's a good storytelling device.
That's something. It's not nothing, which is the rest of the episode.
That's all we want. It's something. That's all we're asking for.
I just want to watch something instead of just the static that I watched for 22 minutes.
We're telling these people watching nothing for 2 hours.
Yeah. But anyway, Marge goes into this fugue state where she's just furiously knitting, and she gets old, but then the kids are still there.
So did you mention the eyes going red from the blood?
I did, but that happens.
She becomes possessed by the blood, but then that never happens again.
It never happens again. It's not a thing that is talked about ever again in the episode.
They're not setting anything up. It's just
there's no setup. It's just a thing that happens.
It's writers are just putting... Oh God, this is like a fucking first draft. This is Doomsday all over again.
It's just a bunch of things happen.
This is a DCEU Doomsday, where it's literally one iteration of Doomsday, and it sucks.
This is your Doomsday, Superman.
Also,
drink my pee-pee, Holly Hunter. I'm Lex Luthor. No joke. He's the best part of that movie.
No, he's terrible.
Yes, he absolutely is.
He's so
because
bad.
He's the only fun part of that movie.
No, he's not.
Jesse Eisenberg is terrific.
It's not one of those cases where somebody knows
Kryptonite. That's Kevin Spacey. But
yeah, it's not. See, Kevin Spacey knows he's in a campy movie and he's camping it up. Eisenberg, I like as an actor.
I love
he's just
Jesse
bad
Eisenberg.
in that movie. He's not doing.
That's completely disagree.
That's not intentional. He's doing a bad job.
Jesse Eisenberg strikes me as a guy who's kind of like us. He's a smart guy. He's handsome. He's wonderful. He's terrific.
I met him. I interviewed him on my podcast before this.
Yes, I remember that you did. But he seems like he kind of gets it, and he realizes he's in this big blockbuster movie. It's all bleak and dark and dour. Have some fun with it.
But I feel like he's not having fun with it.
The red capes are coming.
See, I like that.
The red capes.
I don't know. Maybe he was doing a good job and he just didn't fit. I don't know. I really did not like him at all. I thought it was a terrible Lex Luthor.
Really? I mean, as far as
I hate that movie. I said previously in this podcast, I like Man of Steel. I don't want anybody to get the impression that I like Batman vs Superman. That movie was terrible.
Who was the best Lex Luthor ever? Real quick.
Gene Hackman.
Well,
Clancy Brown.
That's exactly the right answer, Jack.
Yeah.
Clancy Brown was fucking great.
Yeah.
He was the voice of Lex Luthor on Superman the Animated Series and Justice League.
Gene Hackman was great too, though. Otisburg.
Gene Hackman is...
Might have been Otisville, I can't remember.
I think it was Otisburg.
Yeah, I think it was Otisburg. But why do
We all have our faults. Mine's on California.
Kevin Spacey was great too, though.
In a terrible
Come on,
movie,
come on,
he's
come
one
on.
of the good parts.
Let me hear.
Superman.
Wrong.
Yeah.
I love it. I remember.
By the way, buy our Superman Returns sync points for only $2 dues.
Why do they call it the DCE? Do they literally call it the DC Extended Universe instead of the DC Cinematic Universe?
I think just to be different from Marvel.
Oh
Yeah.
my god! Oh, they're the worst. They're just the worst.
It is what it is.
But
Let's get back on track here.
that is really funny. Hey, were you tracking my pee-pee, Holly? That's one of the funniest things you've ever said.
Nice.
That makes me laugh
I'll take it.
because it's so true.
That's
Literally
what happens.
They're playing like really over-dramatic classical music.
What? Why? In Batman vs Superman, is there a climactic moment where someone drinks piss?
I guess it's like a fuck you, but he kills her like 5 seconds later.
Yeah.
So what's the matter?
I have no idea.
This
Doesn't
isn't
make
pee, is
any
it? You're not
goddamn
gonna blow
sense.
me up, are you?
Kryptonite. Red capes are coming.
I like the Kryptonite line because it echoes throughout the stones.
Yeah,
and
I guess.
Superman Returns. Listen to our sync points. It's a horribly flawed movie, but
It's a steaming pile
but
of
it
garbage.
meant well.
There's good stuff in it. That airplane
You know what
sequence is
didn't
fantastic.
mean well? Batman vs Superman.
No.
You know what did mean well? Man of Steel. And it's not a terrible movie.
I will probably never watch it again.
That Act 3 in Metropolis is problematic, but
Yeah.
not really. If I was Superman and it was my first day on the job,
Yeah.
I don't know if I would think to get the guy out of Metropolis. I might bump into a few buildings myself.
I feel like that is justification after the fact. Because they were like, oh, everyone said, like, oh, the Superman killed all those people. It's like, let's just say he's new to this, and we'll make that a plot point in the second movie.
I've never been in a fist fight in my life. If I get into a fist fight,
Yeah.
I was in a bar last week and I was pretty drunk and I bumped into a girl and I had my huge fucking. I was coming from work and I had a big backpack and I was heavy.
Yeah.
And I bumped into her and she like went flying back because.
Oh, Jesus.
And she said, "Hey, watch it, buddy." And then I went, "Oh, somebody pushed me behind," and we all looked, and there was nobody behind me. It was like the Red Sea parted. There was nobody there. And I was like, "Ah, go fuck yourself," and I left. And
Nice, good move.
You know, you bump into people. You know,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
just,
it happens.
if I was I've never been in a fist fight. If I was in a fist fight before, I'd probably be hitting everybody around me. You
Right.
know,
Swinging wildly, hurting your shoulder.
By the way, I'm reading Path to Power. It's a biography of Lyndon B. Johnson.
Oh, I've heard of that. Okay, yeah.
I know this is the most ridiculous of tangents.
Yeah, we'll get back to
But the
it.
funniest thing is, he basically was this biggest asshole in the world. I had never realized what an asshole he was.
Uh-huh.
And anytime he would get into a fight, he was all mouth. And he would
Yeah.
talk, and as soon as he would finally piss somebody off, they'd start fighting with him. The author says he gets onto his back and starts kicking his legs.
Like a baby?
Lyndon B. Johnson.
Lyndon Baby
The guy that passed the
Johnson.
Civil Rights Act.
Oh my god.
But anyway, Man of Steel. I wanted to do sync points. We were going to do Man of Steel sync points, but there wasn't streaming, so we did Superman Returns.
Yes.
I think there's something to defend there. Anyway, let's get back on track.
Let's get back on track. So I think we're done with the feudal France. Actually, it cuts to later on.
It cuts to the rag talking, and he goes, "And that's my story." And then it cuts to like a sponge, and it's
Yes.
his dad. He goes, "Yeah, and I was the Gutenberg Bible." I like that joke a lot. I don't know why it didn't work for me.
I agree.
On paper, it works. Hank Azaria works. Everything works. I don't know why I didn't laugh.
Maybe it's just because,
Actually, I think I did laugh, but
talking rag is one thing. We can, kind of accept that. But then it's, also talking sponges and underwear and all the other shit that happens in this episode.
I think I liked it because of Hank Azaria's delivery of, "Yeah, and I was the Gutenberg Bible." I guess everything else was stupid.
I don't know. I didn't love it. But then we go back to Marge in feudal France, and a bunch of time has passed because she's aged.
Decades have passed.
Homer has lost both of his eyes, all of his limbs, I think. He has an apple for an eye and an umbrella for an arm. It's, kind of funny. But
Visually,
it's, funny adjacent.
Funny adjacent,
It's not directly funny, but I see what they were trying to go for.
It's in the humor regions.
You know what else was in the humor regions? There's a moment where I think Ralph Wiggum hits Chief Wiggum in the balls or something, and he says, "We gotta submit this to France's funniest cave paintings." And
Now
that's a funny idea, because obviously there's no video. But then you see Wiggum go over and draw it on a
The camera
cave.
follows him, he walks over to the cave, and he literally paints it on the cave. You know, the famous Neanderthal cave painting started in France.
Yeah.
This is a classic extra beat. What was that? Do we have an extra beat alarm?
I don't remember. If we did, I don't remember what it was.
We got beats.
Can we get us on the big screen? Hey guys, I think we're back.
Okay.
I hope we're back.
Cannot get us on the big screen because we are not connected to the big screen.
Well, but I thought this was Periscope. This isn't.
We're on Periscope, but you gotta give me a link.
On the big screen, we're on the Periscope website. We're not.
Yeah.
We're not.
But I need a link.
Oh, I see. Wrapping up We 100. There we are. Sorry about that, guys. Hopefully you're coming back.
Tweet it
this
out
beginning 2 hours. Jesus Christ. We gotta finish this. We got one person watching us. How do I get the fucking link for this?
What Twitter are we on? Worst episode ever or We
I
Studios?
think we're on Wii Studios.
I mean, what Periscope? You think it would automatically just post a tweet. Ay, Dios mío. I was going to take 2 days off working out, but now I'm concerned it's going to be like a couple weeks.
You should, if you're really feeling that much pain, you should absolutely not. I mean, you can still do cardio.
Yeah, no, that's what I was going to do tomorrow, and then pick up back Sunday, but I might have to take... Oh, what's this? View one new tweet? Is that you?
That's me.
Alright, let's get this fucking episode done. So we have energy for Wii 101, which we'll be recording right after this.
Jesus Christ.
I would
yet. Hang myself.
We don't have a next week.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
It's literally the last one we have picked out.
Okay.
It's in the schedule already.
I don't know what it is, so...
It's a classic episode. Does that ring any bells?
I thought we were doing...
It's from season 8.
Yeah, no, I know what it is.
Yes, okay.
I thought that was after Mayoween. I guess Mayoween's not...
Mayoween should be the
after
following
that.
one.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought Mayoween was going to be 101.
Yeah. Okay. Alright guys, sorry about that. Technical difficulties, what a surprise. Everything is fucking terrible here at Wii Studios.
We hit our lives.
We hit our lives. And the video is slightly askew.
Oh boy, no!
Oh, that's not what needs to happen.
We might have to scooch.
That's fine. We'll do whatever as long as we get it done.
Hey, the delay's not terrible.
No, the delay's been substantially fixed. Scooch up a bit.
You look good. Is this before you scooched or
I
after?
always look good. I think I'm scooching. I'm in the process of scooching now as I'm watching
so
it.
stupid. Is this 18 people watching us right now?
Yeah. It's been pretty consistent, and we've had about that the whole time.
I mean, this is the new video, right?
This is the new video.
Yeah, thank you guys. We don't deserve it.
Guys, we're gonna wrap this up.
Fucking entertainment.
I mean, this is off air, but we are. I know we're only in the first act of the episode, but honestly, we don't have that much to say about the rest of it. We kind of hit our big points about why this episode is terrible.
Okay, I'm gonna jump right back in because we gotta get going.
Yep.
So, the second journey somehow there's no transitions. We never really find out how the rag moves throughout time.
Well, we do for some of them.
Some of it. For the how do we?
Mr. Burns takes the tapestry, and then it gets
the Crusades
sacked, and I think the monks take it, and then they trade it to
the
Persians.
gay monks, the gunks.
I don't like that at all. I hated the gay monk thing.
The whole monk central.
The tapestry goes to a monastery, and one of them gets hit and like yells out, and the other one just goes, "You broke your vow of silence."
Yeah. It's funny because they're gay and they have gay accents. That's
hated
comedy.
It was so bad.
Comedy 101. Where Emmy, please.
I didn't even like doing that voice just now.
No, it's really stupid.
Yeah, no, it was awful, and that's all I have to say about it.
So now they cut to the Middle East, to Persia.
Then we get to Persia,
Nelson is some kind of king.
I was concerned they were going to do brownface, because when they're trading, the monks are trading to the Persians, they're all the proper...
There's a poo in this episode?
Apu is not in this episode at all.
Huh.
Would have been maybe a good idea to get Apu in there somewhere. Maybe he could have been the Sultan or whatever
someone
it was.
doing in Persia. Find some doing like ancient India. I don't know. Make him the Buddha. I don't know.
Whatever. I mean, you could have done literally anything. It's a crazy make-em-up.
Whatever. Yeah, so Nelson's a king. Jeannie is his 8-year-old wife.
Yeah, and you had a great comment when we were watching the episode. You said, didn't need to see an 8-year-old belly dancer.
Make it Princess Jasmine. And make Nelson an adult.
Well, I mean...
Make Nelson Barney or something. I don't know.
The question is, why is it the kids? But I guess it's because you got to make some Lisa time in this episode.
This is a better frame. We should have done this from the get-go.
Well, we didn't, and it's too late. All right, we'll start over. Hey, everybody, welcome to Worst Episode Ever. you gotta get Lisa in there, I guess, somehow. So they're like, let's make it Nelson and Lisa, and then they do a Sherazade 1001 Arabian Nights type thing.
Yeah,
it's fine. There's no jokes really to it.
This is where I wrote down my note. We talked about this earlier, so I just want to gloss over. I'm not going to go into detail. Yeah. But this is where it was like the redacted put joke here.
Yes.
And like, so they show time lapse, basically the 1001 Nights. She's stalling Nelson with these stories.
Right. Nelson
and
goes
you see a time lapse of the sun rises, the sun sets, sun rises, sun sets. Wow, this is a much better frame. I just really can see the whole TV. And this camel drops dead. It grows 3 humps.
Yeah, it grows 3 humps over the course of time. I thought that was funny.
See, that's exactly what I'm talking about. What's funny? I'm watching it just drop dead. Am I at home sitting on the couch with my family and I go, the camel fell. The camel's dead. That's funny. It took so long.
That's a fair point.
What's the joke there?
I think the joke was just the camel grows 1 hump because first it had no humps, then it's a hump, and then it's a second hump, then it's a third hump,
Humpty Hump,
and then it dies. I guess you're supposed to think it's
acknowledge my Humpty Hump.
The Humpty dance is your chance to do the hump.
It's on Humpty Hump.
Give me the turn. That is a song I listen to on the reg.
I can tell.
That is on my playlist on my phone. But anyway. It was fine. It was whatever. I guess I thought it was like tumors, and all of the humps eventually killed the camel.
You thought that was the joke?
Not that. I mean, not like literally.
It's cancer.
Not literally
it's
like
some kind of super cancer. Some kind of super camel cancer caused by smoking camel cigarettes.
Super camel cancer caused by smoking camel cigarettes.
Is that on your reg?
Yeah,
on your playlist?
That's also in my playlist. I mean, whatever. It sucked. It was fine. I don't care. Then somehow it gets to Italy, and I don't think that was ever explained. I think this is when it like completely breaks down. There's no continuity between
the breakdown. You can find the reason that
no one else lives.
It's the tantric.
It's tantric breakdown.
Good guitar riff at the beginning there.
Bow, 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 bow. We are just.
I know the breakdown.
Fucking losing.
Man, we listen to some shitty music on our Winamp.
Yeah, we did. Everything is gonna shake down someday.
You can find a reason that. Do you remember when we saw Godsmack?
Yes.
And Puddle of Mud opened?
Yeah.
And there was like 30 people in the crowd. We were all like finding our seats. And one guy is just like, literally one guy is there to see Puddle of Mud and he's rocking out.
Yeah.
And then they're like, you might know this one. And then they do their one song. I like the way you smack my ass. Was that their song?
I think so. They also had She Fucking Hate Me.
Yeah. And the guy just goes nuts. The bottle's done. There was a little left, but I spilled it all over our audio while we were changing videos.
While the video went down, and you spilled some on my hand too, but that's fine. Jack went to pour it and just immediately spilled like 2 inches to the left of his glass.
I have no depth perception.
And you don't seem that drunk. It was just Jack.
I just have no depth perception.
I'm
just a fucking mess, and I'm a waste of life, and I should have never been born.
Yeah.
But
there you go.
So basically, the camel drops dead. Yeah, this is when I realized basically. I compared it to. I wrote this down in my notes. It was like watching a TV Land show, like that fucking. Eugene...
Hot in Cleveland.
What's that SCTV guy from
Eugene
Armed and Dangerous? Eugene Levy.
Yeah.
He's in that show, Meet the...
Schmitt's Creek.
Yeah.
That's on Pop Network.
Oh, okay. So, like, you got that, you got even, Two and a Half Men. These fucking sitcoms where it's just...
I haven't watched Schitt's Creek. I thought it was supposed to be good.
I hear it's terrible.
Oh, really? I heard good things.
I know. I heard from a previous guest show that it was terrible. But, you watch these sitcoms and you're just like, these are where the jokes are supposed to be, and I understand that what I'm watching is supposed to be a joke, but it's not making me laugh. And the camel dropping dead.
It was just whatever.
Or the other one was
Jack.
The other one was Lisa's rescuing the wives from the pit. They're all in a pit.
Yeah.
And this one character we don't really see very often, if at all. She goes, "I thought it was cooler in the pit." And she climbs back down and goes, "What is that?"
Yeah, I have no idea. It was nothing. It was nothing to me, and I hated it. But then the rag winds up in Italy, and if you like things that don't make sense and are just nothing, how did you like Michelangelo using the rag to paint the Sistine Chapel? But also Michelangelo was Hank Azaria doing his character from The Birdcage.
No, that's a recurring Springfield character. I guess you haven't met him yet.
Oh.
He's a regular. He's a tertiary Springfield hero.
God, well,
he's from 3 Gays of the Condor.
I didn't care for it.
3 Gays of the Condo, not 3 Gays of the Condor.
Yeah, right.
No, yeah, we gotta do that.
Well,
episode.
that sucks. We should do that episode.
I wanted to do it last year for Gay Pride Month, but we took the summer off.
Yeah,
we should do that one.
Maybe we'll do that this year. It was terrible.
But yeah, I guess you're right. He is kind of doing Hank Azaria from Birdcage. I never noticed
Absolutely. Which is a great movie. I love that movie.
Yeah, Robin Williams going places.
Yeah.
Also, actually, definitely check out our Sing Points coming this Earth Day, April 22nd, because I have a feeling we're going to have a lot to say about Robin Williams. He's a big part of it.
All right. I don't have many more notes, to be honest with you. The rag literally goes from Italy to the United States to colonial
times. We never see how.
With no explanation. It's just, then I was used in a flag, and it was the rebel flag or something.
I'm wondering if somehow the version we watched had a syndication cut and we missed something. I doubt it. But if we're off, please let us know now or in the Reddit.
Yeah. But it was nothing like the rag was in the Confederate flag or something. It was stupid. It didn't do anything. Then suddenly it's the Depression. We've jumped forward like 200 years all of a sudden.
Yeah, no, that was the biggest jump. So now we see Homer. So here's the other problem I had. You're jumping through all these historical time periods, which I guess they do in the Bible stories and the Tall Tales, where the Simpsons characters
because they're discrete stories.
They are. And the Simpsons characters are playing different characters in each one of these time periods. But because they're not discrete stories, I was really confused. I thought there's weird in the Confederate scene. There's this weird hillbilly scene. Homer cuts off his bunion and puts it in the soup.
That was the Depression scene. Homer says the soup needs flavor, so he cuts off a bunion and puts it in the soup.
So it is that the same Homer that climbs Everest?
I don't know. I don't think so, because then Moe would be like 80 years old. Or 100 years old, Jesus.
Well, no, the Yeti could have found the rag decades later. Did that sound as logical as possible?
It did, but that's sad.
The Yeti.
Clearly Moe's father, the Yeti on Everest.
I want to go back in time. Okay, all right.
This is what I'm talking about. Change the Wikipedia page for this episode to say Moe's father, the Yeti on Everest, finds a rag.
If you guys go on Patreon and give us $10 million, we will quit our jobs and do full-time podcasting. If you guys go on Patreon and give us $50 million, we will get Elon Musk, we'll get a team of scientists, we will invent a time machine. I want to go back to 1989, and I want to show James L. Brooks, the late Sam Simon, Matt Groening. I want to show them...
This is what you have wrought.
I want to show them... So, like, the what's the first step? The Christmas special.
Yeah.
I go, see this character you had? You know that young guy, Hank Azaria, you got doing some of the side characters?
Yeah.
See this character, Moe, with the black hair, who's, why are you so down, Homer? With the fever playing in the background. I want to go, did you know his father's a Yeti? And then I'm going to destroy the time machine before I can stop 9/11 or anything.
Yeah, well, at least you got the important stuff out of the way. We know Moe's father is the Yeti. Oh, God.
So...
And then at the Everest thing is the last flashback, right? Because then we're back in the present.
Basically, that's how Moe's rag ends up in Moe's hands. Is his Yeti father gives it to him, and it becomes his blanket.
His Yeti father, you know.
There's got to be a name for it. Like, what's a Yeti dad pun?
His Yeti daddy.
Papa Yeti? His Yeti daddy? That's not bad.
But the problem is, we talked about this before, we don't ever see Moe interacting with the rag, and it's just this weird non-sequitur about Everest. That's how he gets it. That
makes sense that if that's your blankie and you grew up with him, of course you're going to be attached, but I need to see that. That should have been the B-plot. We need to see him. You can't just say, oh, he's been with the rag. At the end of the episode, at the end of this long journey throughout time, you can't just say, hey, Moe grew up with this rag and that's why he's close to him. That doesn't work.
I wrote at the end of this episode, this is exactly what I wrote. So the conceit of this episode is that this rag has existed since medieval France and came from this weird sheepbloods tapestry and can see the future, and the way Moe gets it is from an Everest expedition where also Moe was born from a Yeti.
So at the writer's retreat that summer, they put that up there
that
with what if Homer meets Lady Gaga?
Yeah, right.
These work.
Make them both. We gotta get home. My wife's making goulash tonight.
Mrs. Jean. Making the Jean goulash.
I'm sure she does.
Then, back in present day, Moe was sleeping with the rag as a blankie. He's like sucking his thumb, and he's in bed. And he freaks out. Somebody steals it.
Somebody takes the rag, and we don't even wait all that long to find out it was Marge.
That should have been the beginning of the episode. Oh my God, where's my rag?
Where's my rag?
What's the big deal about this rag, Mo? Well, let me tell you. He tells the story
of this rag.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could
Instead
have
of Jeremy Irons. I don't know. I guess how would he know about the French history?
Well, but he could just be making shit up.
I remember when my Yeti dad would sit me on his white fur lap and tell me the story of the origin of my rag.
Mo is ugly, and canonically ugly on the show. He doesn't look like a Yeti. Like, if you're going to make him a literal son of a monster, why don't you choose a Yeti? Where the fuck does a Yeti come from? You don't have to go to Everest. You could do literally anything that's happened in history.
Did the Yeti bang some kind of Italian immigrant?
I have no idea.
In his red cult?
I honestly...
His abominable red cult?
It is abominable, that's for sure. We can agree on that.
Anyway, so that should have been it. And then he's freaking out. Oh my God. And then there's your story tension. Oh my God. Is he gonna get his best friend back?
Get that.
And then the end, it could be, oh, he didn't need the rag after all. He's got the Simpsons.
Right.
So that would have worked better. But that's not how it happens.
We sort of get there, but it's like there's one scene difference between him losing the rag and us realizing Marge took it, she washed it because she saw Mo, how attached he was to it, and she wanted to do a nice thing for him.
So she washes it and cleans it and dries it.
Right.
There's a joke. This is the joke I laughed at. I really like. Now I wrote it down. She puts it on the laundry, and it's folded on the dried laundry with Homer's tidy whities and towels.
Yes.
I forget what the rag says, but he's talking to the other laundry. He's like, how's it going, guys? Or I forget what it was. And Homer's tidy whities goes, I'm trying to save my energy. He's going bike riding later. And I think the only reason it was funny was because of the droopy voice. It was.
I would agree with you.
Get it, fellas. That line. But also, it's more of the, again, with the France's cave paintings. Sometimes tell, don't show works because you let your imagination do all the work. We don't need to see Homer bike riding and getting really bad swamp ass. Just the thought of it in the future is funny enough. Agreed. If we actually cut to him bike riding later and
the underwear is going like, oh bother,
oh dear, oh this ass sweat's soaking my fibers. That's not funny. Just let our imagination do it.
Let us imagine the ass sweat.
She agrees. NZ Day / hyphon there.
/ porno lot. And that's it for this episode. I don't have anything else to say, do you?
So it ends with basically he finds it. Marge's like, I got the rag. And he realizes he doesn't need the rag. All the Simpsons are there. He makes some stupid joke about Milhouse's name. He calls him Maestro. I know it's some stupid name.
Yeah.
Whatever. Why is Milhouse there? That B-plot was terrible.
Garbage.
But basically, he realizes he doesn't need the rag. He's had friends and family all along. Which, we went through this with like Flaming Moe's. We know Homer's your friend.
Yeah. It was just
season 23.
It was the token happy-ish ending that didn't make any fucking sense.
I've said I'm on record, I don't want to see the show get canceled. I said this on CBC. I would like to see more Simpsons episodes. It breaks my heart to think of a world without Simpsons, even though the episodes are terrible.
Yeah.
But we're in the 20s now. We're almost at season 30. I don't need to see another Mo finds companionship episode. I don't need that. We've had like 10.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man.
Yeah, and so he leaves the rag with Santa's little helper, and the rag is happy with that. He's just like, oh, a dog's unconditional love.
But then Maggie and Santa's little helper
just because you found the family doesn't mean you have to get rid of your blankie. When you fell in love with Jangle and you ended up marrying her, you didn't say, well, I don't need Jack Pacone anymore.
I mean, I did, but then this podcast came around.
And she didn't watch The Simpsons. She was no good.
I was going to be a husband and wife podcasting duo.
But you... never mind.
The only married podcast team.
There's others. They're terrible. But you don't... You can have the rag and the family's
you can
not
still
going to
keep
curl
the
up
rag
with you, but the Simpsons are going to curl up with you at night, no matter how many rape cults you have.
Couldn't agree more, Jack. Couldn't agree more.
This episode's poop.
Alright, so that's going to be it for this episode. Moe's goes from rags to riches. It is time, finally, after all of these hours that we spent periscoping, to rank this episode on our patented Hippo scale. That is the humor, the integrity, the production values, and the originality of the episode. So, Jack... I'm waiting for you to open the sheet. You've done so. All right, let's put 2 minutes on the clock.
Beep, boop, beep, 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 boop, beep, beep, beep.
Yeah, all right. And the humor of this episode on a 0 to 5 scale, 0 being the worst, 5 being the best. Jack, what do you give this episode?
This is tough. I don't know. Like I said, I don't hate it as much as you, but I really don't like it. I want to play a little Prices Right here. We got the audience with some kind of delay.
With some kind of delay.
I want help from the audience, Prices Right style. What do you guys think? I've been ignoring your comments, like Dan says. We've been ignoring your comments for the most part because we're trying to focus.
I've been looking at them side-eye.
Yeah, we glance at them, but we're trying to get through this fucking conversation. It's been 2.5 hours. But now we're looking right at them. What do we think here? What are we doing? Humor?
Humor, 0.5? We got 1.5. No, I mean a single 0.5.
0.5 from Fisher Michaels. 0.5 from Shrek Tune. I like the underwear gag. I like the Wiggum pulling the Pringles, thinking it was the tear gas, thinking it was Pringles.
Yeah.
0.01. Dan Brio, smart, going with the 100th scale instead of the 10th scale.
That's not a bad scale.
A 0.5 from I hate to be offensive, but it looks like Pussy 02.
I think it's Puzik 02.
Puzik. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see the C. Puzik 02. 02.
0.5 seems to be the favorite here. What do you think, Jack? Knowing what the listeners think.
I like the underwear joke. I liked the French joke. What did I say 3 jokes is worth?
I think you said 3 jokes is a half point.
All right. I feel like I was gonna go 1. I feel like these guys are swaying me a bit.
You were gonna go 1.
I might have gone 1. I don't know. I really this is one of the most up in the air rankings for me I can ever remember. I really don't know where I stand on this episode. I really don't. But it's our 100th episode. I love our fans. I'm going to let them sway me. I'm going to go 0.5.
I also love our fans, but I
love them more. I love the fans more.
I laughed a couple of times. Freed loves you the most of all.
No, he doesn't. Goofic just wants you to wear your helmet so you don't die. That's how much he loves you.
Hugh Stretch, rarely heard from, but I love the fans the most.
Jerry Van Dalek, little heard from, always loves the fans. Somehow turning it to Woody Allen here, I don't know.
Jerry Van Dalek, deep cut.
Deep cut.
I was going to go flat out 0.
Alright, well, I'm not stopping you.
I'm going to go 0.5, but I may change it to a 0.
You laughed a couple times. Yeah,
I did laugh a couple of times. But the integrity, Jack, 0 to 5. What do you think?
Alright, how are the characters themselves? Well, we know Moe's a fucking loser, and we've seen it a million times. Guys, what do you got? What do you guys think for integrity?
What do you
also
this episode?
This would be emotion wise.
As far as integrity.
This would be emotional ranking. Nothing really swayed me here. 0.5?
This episode has no
I'm gonna
emotion.
go 0.5.
This episode's a flaming pile of garbage, and I'm gonna give it a 0 in integrity.
Well, you know what? Here's the thing. I consider 2.5 baseline integrity. Nobody's really acting out of character, right? Besides Grandma Bouvier dancing the jig and Homer defying physics.
Yes, that's true.
There's not really much. There's no jerk ass. A low integrity should be when you have jerk ass Homer or jerk ass Marge or whatever. This isn't good integrity, but it's not bad integrity. It's neutral. Oh yeah, Mo Yeti. Is that story?
Mo Yeti. That's canon.
Is that story or is that integrity?
That's a little bit of both, I think. I've just changed.
I'll go 1. Mo Yeti is taking me down, but honestly, I don't think.
I've just changed my scores.
I might go to 1.5.
While you were talking, I went back and gave humor a 0, and I'm gonna give a 0.5 for integrity.
I'm going 1 for Mo Yeti. I might go back up to 1.5 because there's no other integrity flaws.
I don't know. I mean, this episode sucked.
The rag was fairly consistent.
Yeah, Milhouse and Bart. What about them? There's no integrity there. They're just doing shit for the sake of the story.
So wouldn't it be the story's problem?
I guess, but you got to use characters to tell a story.
But it's out of nowhere. But they fit both characters. Bart really likes Milhouse.
Does it? Why does Bart want Milhouse back? At least in the previous episodes, we've seen why.
If Milhouse was to leave, Bart would want him back. That fits Bart's character. What's missing is the story incentive.
I guess. Also, a rag talks and a sponge.
I'm going to split the difference. I'm going to take a little away from integrity and a little from story. So I'm not going to go 2 down. I'm going to go 1.
All right.
0.5.
I still think 1.5 is way too high. But let's move on to production. 0 to 5 on that one, Jack. What are you thinking?
This porn bot agrees with me. She gave me a smiley face.
There you go. I mean, this is not a terrible looking episode, but
Sorting Hat.
It does look like the Sorting Hat.
Did they do you're traveling through time? You're spanning time.
Yeah.
You ever see that Buffalo 66?
No, I've never seen it.
That's such a good movie.
We've talked about it on one of the
You're
shows
spanning
before.
time. There should be some fun tricks with that, some fun transitions and such.
You
There's
know-
so many fucking extra beats. Like, what's extra beats? Where do we take points from that? Extra
I don't
beats
know.
and rotten beats and
Put that in integrity and knock
Beats
it down
out.
because you got way too high there.
1.5 is not way too high.
It's way too high. This episode is awful.
2.5 is C. 1.5 is D plus.
This is a D minus F episode.
D. You can't
in
get,
all
Okay, but
categories.
you can't give me shit for a D plus.
That's not a D plus. D plus would
1.5
be
is D plus.
1 would be a D plus.
No, 1 would be a D.
No, 0.5 would be a. Oh no,
0.5 would be a D minus.
All right, I see what you're saying. The production. I mean, it's not a bad looking episode. There's a lot of things I don't like.
Somebody thinks we should guess.
Maybe after the podcast, we'll see.
When the camera's closed.
There's nothing that I really... If we're saying 2.5 is baseline,
Yeah.
there's nothing that raises it up. I'm trying to think of things that brings it down.
Dancing sequence did nothing for me.
Dancing sequence did nothing for me.
Oh, Quimby.
The voices
acting.
were off, yeah. So I'm already going probably below 2 for sure.
So I'll go 2.
I'm going to go 1.5.
I could go 1.5.
And then finally we have the originality, which 0 to 5... This is an original story.
Well, it's based on $20.
It's loosely... the concept comes from these movies, but it's a talking rag on The Simpsons who tells us its life story, while Milhouse and Bart have a...
I think our regular listeners know I really, really heavily base the originality also on story structure. This is where we talk about script. This is where the episode is a fucking mess.
Yeah, I mean, whether or not it's actually an original concept for an episode, if we're doing story structure here, the story structure is 100% terrible, so I am giving it a 0.
I'm gonna give it a 0.5 because there is some originality.
You're being too generous on this
My
episode.
D minus is too generous, eh?
Yeah, I think it is.
Nah, I think my grades are perfect. Yeah, there's no story. 0 for story, 0.5 for originality.
All right. You locked in here with your answers?
Yeah, I feel like I might go down to 1.5 for production, but the production's not that bad. It's the best part of the episode.
Well,
the least worst part of the episode.
You changing a value. This is off air, guys, so you're getting a little bit of the behind the wee scenes.
I'm assuming this will be in the deleted scenes.
If you change any of your rankings, it will probably be tied for worst episode ever. Right now, it is tied for second worst episode.
Oh my god, that's a lot of
pressure.
That's a lot of pressure.
Where do you want this to be? I can also change mine, but if I went to 1 on production, what does that do?
But it's not a 1 in production. That's cheating.
Then it's a clean.
It's not a 1 in production.
Yeah, I know. I'm just playing around. See what the numbers are. I'm a new character. I don't know who this is.
Guys, what am I overrating too much? Production at 2 or integrity at 1.5?
If you are
not
asking
you,
me,
not you.
I would say it's integrity.
You are wrong in your criticisms.
Integrity should go down.
I'm asking our fans: is integrity at 1.5 too high, or is production at 2 too high?
Tally was a talking rag that worked beautifully.
Don't forget to bring a towel.
Don't forget to bring a towel.
Nobody's answering me.
No, well, I think we're on a delay, so we're just kind of waiting for them.
If I change anything,
Not if you change anything. If you go down in integrity or humor, I think then it would make it tied with worst episode ever.
the integrity is 1.5. Integrity is fine. There's nobody's acting out of character besides Moe's dad, who is suddenly a Yeti.
So I think if you went down on production or originality, well, you're not going to go down on originality, but if you went down on production, I think it would make it a clear second worst episode ever. Which,
I'm giving a 0 in originality besides the 0.5 for the originality. I'm giving a 0 in writing structure because the B plot's so bad. I feel like to take even more points of integrity from that is too much, is overkill.
I'm kind of wondering, what's a 0 in production? Would there ever be a 0 in production?
Really bad voice acting.
Like a season 1?
No, like a Sacha Baron Cohen. And,
Well, even that one, I gave it a 1. I've never given lower than a 1 in production, and I don't think you have
they
either.
got a big budget.
You've never gone lower than a 1.5.
Yeah, I can't see anything. I can't see any points to take away from this episode. I really thought the writing was shit. Is that integrity or is that originality?
If I put Q, which is the typo I just put in, then it's our worst episode ever.
I'm gonna go 1 in integrity.
All right.
What's our worst episode ever now?
Blue and the Gray has been for a very long time, and if this isn't replacing it, I don't know what will.
But see, to me,
I
that's
don't
a
even
fundamentally
remember.
worse episode because it's mean. This is not mean. This is just static.
This episode is just
What's the one? The walrus one. That one's mean. Homer is a mean character. This is not.
Bonfire of the Manatees.
This is harmless. This is nothing. This is just like a fucking superficial wound on The Simpsons. It's just a bad episode.
But it's just
not the worst
funny.
episode.
It's
not the worst episode. It's not. It's just there.
I'd rather watch Bonfire of the Manatees than this one again.
Because it's funnier.
Not even because it's funnier. It was more of a story.
You'd rather see. You would rather watch Homer bring a porn set into his house and then lie about it than watch nothing. Would you rather watch Batman versus Superman than watch nothing?
I mean, at least there's pretty explosions in Batman vs Superman, and I could laugh at it.
You know what? I just convinced myself. I'm leaving it.
Drink my pee-pee. I'm Lex Luthor.
I'm leaving it as is.
What if that became Lex Luthor's new thing? He just wanted people to drink his piss.
My newest plot.
Drink my pee-pee.
When this chemical enters the Metropolis water stream, all of H2O will turn into my urino.
All right, well, now we have a decision to make, because if you're locked in with your scores, it is tied with Sweets and Sour Marge. So is it better or worse than that?
Is that the episode we just watched?
Yep.
I hate to bump that up because it was such a shitty episode. I
think it's worse than that one.
I'll compromise like a fucking weak-ass Democrat, and I will say this is the second worst episode.
All right. Adjust the rankings.
I do agree. Overall, I'm overrating it slightly, but there's no numbers I can take away from. I think that's why I believe in the categories.
Let's wrap this bitch up.
Wrap my bitch up.
Freak! Smack my bitch up.
This Freak versus Prodigy. It's 2 songs! It's a mashup!
It's 2 songs! It's the best! We're watching ourselves do the Prodigy.
Smack my bitch up.
Alright, let's finish this. We have crunched our numbers, and I'm a little surprised. Jack is not.
I'm not surprised. I was expecting this to maybe be the worst episode ever. I'm ranking it in each specific category, I think, and it came out the way it came out.
This is not our worst episode
I've said it before. These numbers don't reflect my gut. My gut best episode is the whale episode.
This is not the worst episode ever. It has ranked as a slightly better episode than The Blue and the Gray, and a slightly worse episode than Sweets and Sour Marge. That puts it at number 2 on our worst episode. A long time since we watched The Blue and the Gray.
It's been a long time.
Since I rock and roll.
It's been a free.
The tricks.
I'm on AM and FM.
I'm on 2 frequencies.
I'm on 2 frequencies.
We have got to start Periscope Live. Thank you so much for everyone who has listened to this episode, for everyone who's listened to the past 100 episodes, who's listened to 90th percentile, who's supported us at all. Thank you so much. This has been absolutely fucking terrific. We've done 100 episodes. We hope to do 100 more. We got a lot more Simpsons episodes to get through, so we're going to be here for a while.
1/6 done.
Yeah, 1/6 done. That's what we're doing here.
Goodness gracious.
If you like the show and you want to support us, you know what to do. You go to amazon.wepodcast.com, shop like you normally would through Amazon. We get a small cut, helps keep the show free, keeps us in our Freets and Solid Gold studios and all the stuff that you guys like.
Remember, it's solid gold. We just plated it with nothing, with paint.
we painted over the gold.
Doing the reverse gold plate.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What else we got? Woohoo Classic Simpsons Trivia. If you're in the Brooklyn area, that's the first Thursday of every month. I co-host that with friend of the show, Dan Ozzie. And we just had it the other week. And wepodcast.com is our website. That's where you can get our Reddit, our Facebook page, our YouTube page. To get the video if you missed it, it'll be up there. In the show notes for this, we'll put it on the website. And
I'm sorry, somebody just commented, and by just I mean probably like 5 minutes ago, considering the delay.
Yeah.
100 seasons and 500 episodes. What's the movie? What's the movie gonna be?
Well, we did already do the Simpsons movie.
Oh, okay.
They'll make a Borat starring us. I don't know what that would be.
Naked wrestling? Naked.
We will do a naked wrestling movie.
30 seconds. 20 seconds. $1 million a second. 20. Dan's never seen my penis appearance. I'm bigger.
That's good. That's real good. I'm happy to hear that. We have had such a blast.
Shaft.
Oh boy. We have had a lot of fun here tonight.
Just a big head. And
I thought your shoulder hurt. Technical difficulties, but we've done it. This is a great episode. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We are going to be back in 2 weeks for our next episode.
100th
of
podcast.
The Simpsons. So now that we've done 100, we're going to change things up slightly. And the episode we're going to be doing. We can just do
whatever the fuck we want.
We're gonna fuck anything that moves.
We're like anarchists on podcasts. Fuck you, Terry Gross.
That's right. Why do you say that, Jack? This is Terry Gross.
You don't listen to Fresh Air.
I don't. I have no idea what Terry Gross
terrible
sounds
Terry
like.
Gross. She sounds like this.
Oh, hello, I'm Terry Gross. I sound kind of like Freed. Face you just gave me. Priceless. And everyone gets to see it, too. I love it. This is amazing. Guys, we're going to do an episode from season 28. It's called Home
Punch Me. At least it was my good shoulder.
We have
Punch Me.
season regular 8.
Season regular 8? Is that the J.J. Abrams?
It was regular 8. It wasn't so super.
It wasn't that super.
The Grimes episode. I just watched myself punch you.
Why'd you punch me? I was out of nowhere. Someone's saying I'm gonna go to the hospital.
Season 28, Homer's Enemy. We're going to be doing that one. That's the Frank Grimes episode. That's what we're going to do next time. You can watch on Simpsons.
So much.
That's going to do it for this episode, guys. It's
me.
been a terrific 100 episodes.
Me.
It's been a terrific 100 episodes. We hope that you stick with it. You don't have any cut all this submissions, so if you do want to submit one, you absolutely can do that on the website.
Let's get it. Well, we got to wait like 12 seconds. But hey, if you guys... And thank you to our listeners, but we're probably going to cut out as soon as we read your comments. So thank you for everybody who stuck up. It's fairly late. It's 1. That's late for us.
That's very late for me.
That's not... Nope, it's we 100.
Why are you not here?
I'm punching Jack!
So anyway, punching him out.
And
thanks, guys. Heart emoji.
Man, our porn numbers.
We're just reading them out loud. Log in to comment.
We love our porn listeners.
Cut all this.
Jules.
Cut all this. We're
getting.
getting.
Rio, Shrek Tune, Fisher Michaels. Cut all
of
this. And if you guys, it's super simple. Just record it on your phone. Give us a real one.
Cut.
Porn bots giving it.
Give us emojis.
Maybe it's one of our fans who just has a bikini photo.
Cut all of this shiz. Shut Mall Miz.
Shut Mall Miz. As in Richard Mall.
I guess. Paul Diz. I think the next one Sideshow Mel should read.
Plasma Works joined.
Cat. Guys, I think that's it for this episode.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody. Jack hurt his shoulder again. Smut tall piss.
Smut tall piss.
Thank you so much for sticking